gamers. Is that some gamers I spot? Let me go to... What's up? Timer, my favorite part. Hey, Luna. Nathan, Tofu, Ryuzin, Jumpy Neb, Super Soup, Danny, Elijah, Ahmed, PG Gamer, T-Man's Digi Studios, Atomic Operations. What's up? What's up? Zolodu, how y'all doing? Wise Ham, sup? First time, but I'm a big fan. Hey, glad to see you here. Hold on. Why is my chat not showing up in the little box on the screen? Oh, there it is. Oh, wait a minute. There's some green screen showing. Do I need to pull this forward? Boom. Hey, Shovel, did you check out any demos during Next Fest? Oh, no, I haven't, actually. Are there any good games you've been playing? Anything look good for you? I got a shiny King Gambit in Pokemon Champions, which is crazy because I've only pulled like 3 times. The odds were wild, but sometimes you just hit. Shovel, this has been showing the past 3 or 4 streams I'm attended. I usually pull it forward when I notice it, but the green screen is very close to me. So, unfortunately, it gets pushed back a little bit just when I move. Hell yeah, that's sick. Let's go. Let's go. I submitted my game to Showcase Saturday. Nice. Nice. I spent the day bug fixing my Juniper entry, but I'm nerfed by a huge heat wave over here. Yeah. We had a huge heat wave in Seattle on like Sunday to Wednesday, so I'm really glad. Hey, Shovel, it's Hydar. Looking forward to your game. I hope to get some time to make some more animations of your characters. Hey, thank you, Hyder. Thank you, Hyder. Yeah, I saw your message. I didn't have a chance to respond yet. Shovel, you sound a little sick. Are you all right? Yeah, I don't know why I'm... it probably is just the rapid changes in temperature because it was like almost 100 on like Wednesday, and then yesterday was like 70. So I think my sinuses are just going crazy, but you know. Yeah, it's fine. Doesn't as long as it doesn't block the gameplay. Yeah. How do I submit my game to Showcase Saturday? If you go to the Discord, there's a forum called Showcase Saturday. You can create a post there. Oh, also, Insandio reminded me that on Discord, it'll automatically close posts in a forum after 7 days. So if you have a game in the forum that you've been waiting to see played for a while, you should like bump it or make another post there, not make another post, like comment on that post so that it gets pushed to the top. That way it's not just like closed at the bottom and we think it's passed. As Stream Elements, get out of here, bro. We don't respect you. How do I, is there a, is it, there's got to be a way for me to, yeah, I think, another Insandio W also like the stream. Oh, true. Make sure you press that like button. I'll submit to Showcase Saturday after I get some health bars in. Really just need some feedback for my game. I hope you play it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for later Showcase Saturdays and more Game Dev Secrets. True. Is Shovel Jam coming back this year? Probably not this year, because I want to do the next Shovel Jam after I release the demo for Isadora's Edge. So Isadora's Edge is my top priority right now. So I'll be able to do another jam after I get that demo out, but not sure how long that's going to take. Ideally, the Isadora's Edge demo will be before this time next year at the latest, you know, so we'll see. My brain thought about degrees in Celsius. Yeah, 100 degrees Celsius would be, I think, my house melt around me. Shovel Jam 2 in 2028, it do be like that sometimes. Nice. I sound sick because allergies. Yeah. I don't think mine is allergies. I think mine is just my sinuses are clogged up or whatever. But yesterday was 108. Today is 104. Holy moly. You know what? I'm not going to comment on my post because I want you to play the new version I'm working on. Got it. So I was thinking potentially because the Juniper Dev Jam just ended, right? The very serious game jam. Maybe this stream could be a fun, like, just playing games from that jam, rather than the usual list, so that people who just finished their game can get feedback on it right away. I think that might be fun. I'm looking forward to the next Isadora playtest. Hey, thanks, David. Thanks, David. Yeah, I'm really happy with how it went, and I finished watching all the footage, and I finished making my notes, and so I think like it's safe for me to say that it's like a wrap on the first playtest. And I think that overall it went really, really well. It's like I told myself ahead of time that like my goal for Isadora's movement is to end up at like a 9 or a 10 out of 10 in total for like the score for her. But I didn't picture being able to get that high of a rating on her movement in the first playtest. I figured it would take, quite a lot of iteration. But I'm more or less already there. I'm a little bit below that, but there's a few things I need to fix. And I've identified the areas I need to improve to get it there. So I think, honestly, I think that her movement's in like a really good spot. So we still have like 7 hours to upload bug fixes, so the jam isn't like fully over yet. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, the submission period has technically ended, and some people might not be doing bug fixes or whatever, but Shovel, give me the code so I can make my player be a 10 out of 10. All right, zipping right now. Hold on, sending it to you. Let me go to my messages. Nikki. There you go. What the hell? Cannot send this message to Nikki because she's not on my friends list. How you gonna do that to me, Nikki? How you gonna do that to me? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This little Isadora face. Nice. You got everything you wanted from the playtest. Yeah. It went way better than I expected. I got a lot of data, and also I was really like trying to figure out the okay, Productions. My game didn't make the jam deadline, so I'm taking the opportunity to polish up my next showcase. Oh, that sounds awesome. Let me pop that back up on the screen. Can we get some +2s for okay? That's awesome. But yeah, you didn't make the jam deadline. Oh yeah, I saw in the Discord, because your internet went out, right? But yeah, I'm excited to play what you put together. Especially you'll have some extra time to polish. But also you just did a jam, so I'm assuming you're a little bit burnt out from how much extra work you needed to do to get the jam done. So feel free to rest, and if you can't make it to the next showcase, maybe the one after that. But I unfriended you when I was putting my friends list. I'm just not high caliber enough for this sort of thing. I see how it is. Never mind. I just thought up here. All right, back to sleep. Hey, good night. Okay, good night. Shovel hit by the stray. I'm a 10th grade CS student. I have basic understanding of C#, but the inner workings of Godot seem so complex for me. Is there any right way for learning it? I think the best way to learn it is to just try to start making stuff, because as you make stuff, you'll get more experience using the engine. And I think actually using the engine is how you can get a grasp of it. Because before you start using any tool that's moderately complex, it will feel quite overwhelming. Like there's a lot of stuff you don't know and a lot of stuff you can't do. But the more time you spend actually working in the engine, the better you'll get at understanding what all the different features are and how to do everything, right? So, yeah, my advice would be to just start making small projects. Find some stuff that seems within your skill level and stuff you're comfortable making. Yeah, like Bracky's Godot beginner tutorial is good. Similarly, there are a bunch of tutorials that you can follow for all kinds of different starter projects. I have a document that's like the guide to learning Godot that takes you through a bunch of different tutorials. I didn't make the tutorials. I just linked tutorials I thought were good, because we already have plenty of tutorials. It's just nice to, I thought it would just be nice to have a collection of the ones that I think are valuable. And so that can be a good way to approach it, but honestly, just start making stuff more or less. You were about to talk about how the playtest went, I think, before the +2. Oh, right. Thank you. Yeah, so the other thing that I was really not so sure about was the level design, because I knew it had some issues, like pacing-wise, because I think I said in the email I sent out and everything that, like, I wanted to test the movement, and to do that, I need to put a lot of different platforming challenges in front of you. And in a Metroidvania, it's not just going to be back to back to back to back to back to back platforming challenges. There's going to be some room to breathe in between. There's going to be fighting. There's going to be bosses. There's going to be all kinds of stuff that isn't just platforming challenges. But to test the movement, I needed to mostly make all kinds of different platforming challenges. That being said, I figured there would be a little bit of a pacing issue because of the just nonstop need to do cool jumps. And I tried to break it up a little bit with how I set up like an exploration hub that connects all the rooms together that you have to like backtrack into, and how I made the rooms kind of have each one have their own sort of cycle to it, where like you go in and then you leave the room through some means. And then I tried to break it up here and there with like secrets and a couple like puzzles and needing to stop and figure something out. And so I tried to break it up a little bit so that the pacing was better, but I figured that would be an issue. And then also, Isadora newsletter when? Oh, actually, Atomic, there is the dev update posts in Patreon. So that's sort of like the Isadora newsletter. But yeah, so I thought that would be an issue. And then also I thought that it might get too challenging too quickly, because I sort of fast forwarded the learning curve, where it's like in the full game, the extremely difficult platforming will be near the end of the game or in like optional sections and stuff. But for the playtest, you got to the super hard, super challenging stuff real quick. So those were two things I was concerned with. And then on top of that, I think level design is something that I have less experience with than all the other aspects of what I'm working on for the game. So I wasn't sure how the levels were going to land. And that being said, I said that being said a bunch of times. And because I wasn't sure how well they were going to land, I was like, I really need some good information at this. And so I added some questions to the playtest feedback forum of what were people's like favorite parts and least favorite parts and like sections and levels and rooms, so that I could try to discern where the level design was working and where it wasn't working. And overall, people were much happier with the level design than I was expecting. And I feel like I learned a lot about what works and what doesn't work and how I can set that up for the full game. So I think from a level design perspective, the playtest went way better than I imagined. So I'm really happy with that, you know. Yeah, the playtest gave you data on what works and what doesn't, though, so it's good. Yeah, exactly. Stuff like how the solar array was far and away people's favorite area, and the lab was far and away people's least favorite area, and being able to figure out why that's the case was super valuable. Outside of the game's design, I'm curious about how you approach the story for Isadora, like regarding quest lore and cutscenes. Yeah, that's a great question, because her story has changed dramatically since the original version of the game that I was like envisioning. Because before it was going to be linear. Hey, Bubbles, true. Have I already talked about that before? But yeah, it was much different in a previous version. Because it was a linear game. And so I had made the story quite linear. Like, you're going to experience it in a set order. And there were like an introductory level that had like the intro to the story. Then there were like 4 levels you could select from, and each of those had their own like sub story that also led to the main thing. And then you would get to the final level, which had like the end of the story. And that was sort of how I structured everything. But switching it to a Metroidvania means I need to like really lay out the world in a more complex way, and the story needs to be able to be experienced non-linearly, which made me go and change a bunch of the stuff that I had written. But overall, I'm really happy with the changes. So, and then like Luna said, the bubble system. So I've done a lot of DMing for Dungeons and Dragons. So I've written a lot of like quests and plot lines and stuff for my players in that game. And one thing I did that usually worked really well was what I had called the bubble system, where if there's something I want to happen or an important detail or something, I like write it down and put it in like a little bubble. And then I put all those together, and then I try to draw a map between the bubbles that makes them make sense, you know? And I think that, that bubble system is both really valuable for laying out a plot and making everything make sense. And I can pop bubbles if it turns out they don't fit. And for a Metroidvania is really nice, because if a bubble is like not super related to like the actual like storyline, like as far as a timeline goes, or if it's not something that Isadora will get to experience in a cutscene or as like a quest, if it's just something that exists in the world, then I know I can put that bubble somewhere on the map. And so that's really helpful for like laying stuff out. And Yeah, game dev secret on Bubbles. Why did you decide to go Metroidvania instead of staying a side-scrolling platformer? Honestly, because I like Metroidvanias more. That's like the long and short of it. I have a whole video where I go into the details and reasons a little bit more in depth if you're super curious. But yeah, I think the long and short of it is that I like Metroidvanias more, and I'm more interested in making a Metroidvania. And the only reason I wanted to do side-scrolling before was because I thought that would make it easier and faster. But I'd already spent so long on the game and had so much stuff I wanted to do with it that I realized that I had just been in denial, more or less, about what I wanted to make, you know. Bubble Junior, true. I hope me saying I want higher pogos for the 50th time in a row wasn't too annoying during my feedback. Oh, no. It's super valuable. If only everything was fast about game dev. Today's my first time publishing a game on itch. I'm kind of nervous. Hey, exciting. But yeah, let me go to the Discord. Did platformers being harder to sell play a part in the Switch? Not at all, really. I was never concerned with the sales of the game I'm making. I kind of thought from the beginning that it wouldn't do that good. Like when I was like, I'm going to do a platformer, I just assumed that it wasn't going to land. So, but I do think a Metroidvania being easier to sell also means that it's like a little bit more popular. And I think that popularity means more people will like it. And so that's a part of it, is like, I think more people will like Isadora's Edge as a Metroidvania than people who would have liked it as a platformer, but small change, you know. Or a small factor, not a small change, a small factor in making the change. Are you going to add a very annoying area like in Hollow Knight? We have Deepness and in Silksong Biowater. A very annoying area. Maybe. There won't be in the demo for sure, but having an area that's like the threatening, difficult to get through section does sound fun to me. But I would probably not do it the way Biowater is, or at least Biowater was annoying to get through, but I think the thing that made it really bad was the super obnoxious run back to Grohl, and the fact that the bench to get halfway to Grohl was hidden. I think those were extremely annoying, but I probably won't do a super long, annoying run back to Grohl, to something like Grohl. And even if there is a long, annoying run back to a boss, I don't think I put a gauntlet in front of it, but my game will have poison swamps. Isadora with a nuclear powered rocket launcher. Okay. But yeah, do you all like the idea of doing the Juniper Dev stream? Just playing games from the jam? I think that'd be fun. And if you are watching the stream right now and you made a game for the Juniper Jam, you should either post it in Showcase Saturday. Yeah, that'd probably be the best thing. And just mark that you made it for the Juniper Jam so that I can pick from those. Play every single Juniper Jam game. I'd volunteer. Nice. Yeah. Make sure you go throw it in the Showcase Saturday and like put in parentheses like Juniper Dev Jam in the title. Maybe I can change the title of the stream. One sec. Stream settings. Nope, that's not it. Wait, or is it? That is it. Instead of playing games for my community, playing games from the Juniper Dev Jam. Boom. I waited 9 freaking hours to see if you would play mine. Yeah. When did you submit yours? Yours is the taco game, right? Taco the video game. What did I miss? I stepped away for a second. So I think I'm gonna do a playing games from the Juniper Dev Jam stream because I think that'll be fun. Juniper Jam stream sounds good. Especially if you'll play games with lower rating to give them more visibility. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably just play the ones that get submitted in the Discord, because I don't want to give feedback to someone who doesn't want it, you know? Is this Free Time 2, also known as Tofu To Go and Mulyoyo game for Juniper? Mulyoyo, what did they work on? Did they work on, was it Free Time? Was it Free Time? I think so. That sounds right. Let me go to the, okay. Man, I wanted to see mine be played. Isn't yours for the Juniper Jam as well? The, Let me see. Was it Glass Tears? Oh no, this just happens to be your first one. I see. Yeah, Free Time's Artist. Got it. Bro, any tips to get out of tutorial hell? It's been 1 month and I've been trying to learn Godot. Yeah, I'd say the best way to get out of tutorial hell is at some point to come up with the thing you want to make outside of the context of a tutorial and just make that like on your own. And if you run into things like issues that you can't make it without following a tutorial, that's fine. Go to the tutorial to get the information you need. But then, like, you know, next time you're trying to make something, try to do it self-guided anyway. And you can make something really small, right? If you've been following tutorials, you probably have the gist of like the scene tree and scripts and how to like run the game, like how to do the very basics, how nodes work. And if you understand those basics, then you can get out of tutorial hell by giving yourself like, I want to make a ball that rolls back and forth on the screen and I can press to jump and I have like some enemies that'll like shoot a bullet at me or something, you know, that sort of stuff. But and then do that. Yeah, and don't try to make an MMORPG for your first game. Try to make something super small, like something that you might not even like, something I would consider a game, but you might not consider a game. Like something extremely small, just the very basics, and once you can get that working on your own, completely self-guided, then you can give yourself a new, bigger self-guided thing to get done. And then you give yourself a new, even bigger self-guided thing to get done. And suddenly you're able to like move around in the engine, making your own ideas come to life, you know? Come up with an idea as simple as possible, then just wing it. Yeah, basically. And the more you wing it on your smaller projects, the better you'll get at winging it on bigger projects. I think you should have an area for speedrunners in Isadora's Edge that's really hard and sweaty platforming for speedrunners to skip a boss or something. That's a cool idea, yeah. It's like you get to choose between the difficult boss fight or the difficult platforming. And so it's like almost like a difficulty setting. Like, would you rather have hard platforming or would you rather have a hard boss fight? I think that's a fun concept. And like set it up specifically so that like, you know, if you're just playing the game casually, you're more likely to fight the boss, and also you can just do both paths. Add some kind of other reward to the platforming path, so that people who want to go experience everything can do it. I ask again: is it possible to make a Wario-like game based on Showcase Saturday? Do you mean make a game called like Showcase Saturday that's like WarioWare-like, and it like pops up games that you would play in the same vein as how I play a lot of games on Showcase Saturday? Because totally, that's fine. By the way, the background art is amazing. Oh, thank you. Yeah, these are by, let me find the names actually. I believe this Isadora right here is by Mochi Sky Mega. And then this background is from Kinney Museum. I think it's Kinney Museum. But, let me... Oh, oops, wrong place to look. But I'm actually fairly confident that I did just remember the names off the dome, so. Yep. Sign in. This is correct. Dude, what? Why did it, like, I feel like my Chrome just like logged me out of everything. All right, anyway, I know the names. That's Mochi Sky Mega's Isadora art, and this background was done by Kinney Museum. So, Inbound Shovel, when will you pay me $5K to draw an Isadora background? I'll pay you $5K enthusiastic thumbs up, huh? Boom, check this out. So, kind of worth your while, huh? The idea of the game that I'm working on right now is not MMORPG, but feels like it because of the size. It's not my first, but it's still a lot. Don't do like me, make smaller games. Yeah, making 5 big booms. Boom! Yeah, making smaller games to get a feel for the engine is really valuable as a beginner. But since you're not a beginner, just making the game you want to make is awesome, you know? Is it better to join game jams as a beginner game jam? Resetting. Is it better to join game jams as a beginner game dev after I learned the basics? I think learning the basics before you start a jam makes sense. Otherwise, you might be totally lost in the sauce. But the first ever jam I did with Godot, I had never opened it before. Now, I had experience in Unity and I had worked at 343, so I already was familiar with a lot of the concepts, but I hadn't used Godot specifically before. But that's just the kind of thing that I think once you feel comfortable, like you can actually make something. It also depends on the jam you want to enter. A jam that's like a 10-day or like a 7-day period will give you more time to learn the basics while you're doing the jam. If you're trying to learn the basics and do like the 48-hour jam, I think that's gonna be tough. Yeah, have a setup that makes you fight the boss in the first playthrough or something available when you beat the specific boss once, maybe would be cool. It doesn't have to be platforming, of course. Yeah, I think like those kind of optional paths are very, very enticing to me as a designer. The idea that players can choose the experience they want without needing to like go to a menu and customize their settings, but just by making the choice in the game itself with what they decide to do. The fact that like they see a warning sign for like a dangerous enemy and so they decide to go around the enemy, like that is a choice similar to they see a warning sign for a dangerous enemy and that they charge directly at the enemy. I think both of those are like interesting decisions that it's fun if the game rewards you for playing them differently, you know? I submitted a game jam game I made. I'll see how awful I did. I'll ask again, who did your enemy art? I'm working with an artist named Fur. Do you use C# or GDScript? I use GDScript because I like its simplicity, but I think either work totally fine. And if I were to start again, if I were to start over completely, I might do C# instead, just because C# is a little bit nicer in a lot of ways. But there are lots of little things about C# that are really nice in a way that GDScript is a little annoying. But GDScript is baked so natively into the engine that I think it's a good choice if you just want it as simple as possible. So, yeah, further go, right? How do you make good cutscenes? I'll let you know once I make some. I remember working with the narrative team on Halo Infinite for how we were trying to get the cutscenes set up and working, but that was like a lot of technical stuff. And I don't think the technical side is necessarily as interesting. But I do think cutscenes are quite difficult for indie devs, just because, you know, either you have to do like traditional animation and plug it all in together, or you have to come up with some like alternate system that like gets the point across. So I think it's a little bit complicated, but yeah, once I have some cutscenes for Isadora's Edge, I'll see if they're good, and then I'll spill the secrets. I can comment again. Make a danger sign for an enemy that's utterly weak. It just has the sign for moral support. Speaking of the experience that we choose, I think I found theoretically humanly possible way to save 5 seconds in Solar in playtest, but I wasn't able to do it once in 2 hours of trying. Oh, what's the theoretical time save? I'm curious. What do you think a roadmap for a beginner should look like? Actually, if you go to the FAQ, no, not the FAQ. Where is it? Oh. Let me go to the FAQ channel in Discord. Okay, I added a page to the FAQ channel in the Discord that has a link to the guide for how to learn Godot, and I think that's a good roadmap. It still says a guide to learning it for the shovel jam, but ignore that. I think if someone didn't know anything about Godot and wanted to get started with it, that would be my exact recommendations. But yeah, okay. I think that being said, I will get started on playing some Juniper. What is it? The very serious Juniper Dev Game Jam entries. Time for you to join the Discord, I guess. Yeah. The link is in the description. So, yeah, the game I'm building is very story driven, though, very heavily inspired by Maple Story. I'm wondering how I should approach, because you're a master at this. This is my first game. So if you're trying to do something like Maple Story, I imagine you might want the cutscenes to play out like on the map itself, right? Where like the characters move around and say stuff rather than needing to cut to like some pre-rendered visuals. And so I would probably come up with a some kind of system that can drive the characters manually, so that like you can take away control from the player and then tell this character to move over here, make this character appear on screen, make this character pop up a message, so that you can have your own scripting language, basically, for how you set up the cutscenes, so that you can program them in bit by bit, and then you just run those when it's time to run the cutscenes. It's sort of similar to what we did at Halo Infinite, although I'm sure the Halo cutscene system is going to be a little bit more complicated than what you'll need. So just whatever makes it easiest for you to drive the characters around. And making a system that does it will be easier, because then it's reusable, so you don't have to like hand code every single cutscene, and it'll be more maintainable, because if something is broken in one of the cutscenes, that's a feature that probably a lot of them are using, you know? You should also do itch page reviews. We only have like a couple more hours to update the pages. To update the itch page, you're not allowed to make changes to the itch page itself. That's very strange. But if you're fast in the beginning, you can get to the bottom laser when the higher block is leaving, which saves a cycle up top. Oh, pretty janky route that is fast enough for this. That's funny. I've tried to get there. I tried to get to that laser when the top one was leaving several times. I just thought it wasn't possible. And I was like, I like how this like lowers the threshold for how fast you need to go through the starting area, because you're never going to make this anyway. So the fact that it is technically possible was not necessarily my design intent, but kind of cool. I guess I'll have to wait another week. Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The list I have for games I need to play is very long. So, first very useful tip I got in the whole year. Hey, glad I could help. I really love the multiple playstyle game options. It makes the game more replayable. Yeah, that's another huge benefit to it too. It's like if you have multiple routes and multiple choices people can make in different orders to do things, different ways you can experience the world, and having the game like react to those decisions in some way, even if it's minor, so that you get a slightly different experience based on what you choose to do. I think that's very, very valuable. So there are two routes to get to this point. One is Inhuman with Zoop, but the second one is Humanly Possible. Ah, I see. This is my first time making my own art for a game jam. Yeah, if you go to the Discord, there's a channel called Showcase Saturday. Just post your game in there, and mark that it's for the Juniper Jam, and yeah, I might be able to get to it. Let's see how many jam games I can actually play today, though. All right, let's get the show on the road, huh? First up. One route is for you and one is for us mortals. True. Earl is truly unbelievably skilled at controlling Isadora. Okay. First up. The other thing is I didn't test these games ahead of time like I normally do, so there's no guarantee they'll all just work off rip. But we'll just have to keep that in mind. And I think they still have time to bug fix, so finding those will be valuable. So I don't really like difficulty sliders because I want to play the game how the designers intended to be played. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons that having the decisions built in to like the way the player plays the game is way, way nicer. Instead of taking them out of the gaming experience and breaking immersion so that they can, change the slider, or even like just ruining their experience by making them wonder whether or not they should change the slider, getting rid of that completely and building the options into the level design so that if you want to avoid a difficult boss fight, you can. But okay, we have Recreate by Dazzling Duck and Mulyuyo. Hopefully I said that correctly. Mulyuyo, if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, feel free to drop kick me. But also just let me know how I'm supposed to. Okay, you're an artist. Well, that's not quite right. You're a retail employee who does art whenever you have the motivation to. So, an artist, which is rarely nowadays. And even then, success feels like a game of chance. Surely all you need to do is warm up. Pencil to paper, that's all it is, right? A very serious game about artists' block. Well, let's go. Can I? Hold on. Let me turn the volume down in my own ears. Okay. Can't really able to skip the last boss to the credit because the boss is too hard. Isn't difficulty slider good for accessibility? Yeah, it's a balancing act, because if you make it too hard to get to the easier route, then people don't realize that there is accessible paths through the game. But I think you can also like have what is clearly like an accessibility option that makes things easier as opposed to a difficulty slider. Especially because if someone has like an impairment on their hand, right, that makes it harder for them to press buttons, so they can't play the game on the like super hard difficulties or whatever, making them go click, yeah, give me baby mode, feels a little bit insulting. I would rather implement it into the game design so that they can take the path that they're more capable of playing through, so that they get to feel like they had a totally legitimate experience anyway. Making them go click, like, give me baby mode does feel a little bit insulting. But that being said, having some option in the accessibility called like assistance, that's like, if you are new to platformers, really struggle with this kind of game, or have otherwise some issue that you want to, you need some assistance to be able to get through this game, you can turn this on and it'll help you with it. I think that's very reasonable. But escape has a volume slider. Okay, got it. I'm just trying to... Okay. I found the full screen button by listening to Tofu. Although, it's a web build, so the escape button is a little bit unfortunate, but that's just how it is. Okay. To recreate. Aw, look, it's the duck. It's the dazzling duck himself. And I think that's a stove, maybe a fridge, trash can, mouse. Okay, I'm hiding the desk down here, but don't worry about that. Arrive home. Sure. Oh, I'm a ghost. Okay, I'm not a ghost. I was giving ghost. Head on desk. Ugh. Well, that sucked. Owen's dead. No more closing shifts, please. But opening's even worse. Laundry, apron reeks. Tomorrow. But a shower. Or I could draw. Let's go. How long's it been? I forgot. That's probably a bad thing. For sure a bad thing. I mean, I've got 2 days off. Try to draw. Okay. Oh, here goes nothing. It's just pencil to paper. You've done this before. You know how to do this. Try again. Let's do it. I'm going to draw a frog. No, not good either. Okay, I'm going to draw a good frog. Boom. To the bin it goes. Why does it all look like shit? Hey, life hack. Try to draw shit. Then if it looks like shit, you're a winner. Oh, I don't think I like my own advice. I just need to warm up, right? Oh, uh-oh. I'm doing a depression. That is not... Oh. The Amazing Digital Circus? What the heck? Pin it or bin it. Yeah, what in the Amazing Digital Circus? Shall I spin this wheel? Welcome, pins and pinstresses, to Pin It or Bin It. The show where you spin it to win it. And we really like to rhyme. I'm your lovely eraser and host for tonight, Tony Cecil. And don't forget our co-host. Digi, that's you. Digi, that's me. That's you. Where? Who? Of course, neither can we forget our very special someone today, our one and only star of the show. You. Me? Oh, no, that's not Mr. Froggy. I told you they weren't gonna get it. I told you. This is all just a dream, don't worry. Your dream. Be proud, kid, you got a game show in your head. And not just any old game show, the one and only Pin It or Bin It. What? What my dear fellow host here is trying to say is that we heard you've been having a little trouble lately. A little, don't you mean? Trouble with the old gray matter, you know, your brain! You just try to draw, but nothing sticks. Feels like trying to win an impossible game of odds stacked against you. No matter how motivated, no matter how inspired. Fat chance! They all land in the bin, one after the other. Oh, well, we're here to help you. See this whole thing? That, darling, is your motivation. Well, the very small blue part is. It's been getting smaller recently. Yes, put a pin in that, and we'll get back to it later. Our goal here is to help you make that section bigger, so you may finally get that motivation back that's been missing. And then hopefully it can help reignite that spark in you. Okay. For example, think of something nice. How about that cat that roams around your workplace sometimes? How nicely her fur shines in the sun. Oh, that's not that sense. Oh, how nicely her fur shines in the sun as she roams free in the morning, whiskers sparkling in the light. Yeah, that! That cat. Oh, shit. Motivation increase. See? Already getting bigger! Put in the effort to take care of yourself and you can be rewarded greatly. After all, what more is an artist's pay than the very creation itself? Hopefully money. Ideally, artists can also buy food and live in-house, but, you know. I like you, Cecil. Gee, well, how about paying the rent for starters? Anyways, with our basic premise in mind, let's get started. Get ready to pin it. Or say it. Pin it. So you may spin it. Win it. That's the spirit, kid, kind of. Let's go. Your first challenge will be... Oh, look at little froggy. Oh, shit. My first challenge is floating through space. Seems tough. Oh, oh, oh. Clean up your desk. Boom. Oh, shit. Oh, this is the Bennett part. Dude, this is so unbelievably real. Having a cluttered, messy desk makes it so much harder to focus on creativity. Yo, trash. Get in the trash. Boom. Yeah, I don't need that post-it note. Receipts? Don't need them. We're gaming? We're gaming? Kind of. It's much harder to draw when my tablet is covered with a thick layer of trash. And gamed. Yeah, little grabby fingies. Let's go, let's go. Wow, look at that! Squeaky clean. Ain't that just something, folks? Now, if you do me the pleasure and have a little looky-loo with this here wheel. Whoa, check that blue! And our motivation has increased. Incredible. Everyone see how much better that looks already? Who are you talking to? Now, we all know that there are no commercial breaks on Pin It or Bin It. There's no breaks at all. Our runtime isn't long enough for them. If only someone decided to go to bed at a reasonable hour. How preposterous that would be. I'm trying my best here. Anyways, it's now time for round 2. Take it away, Digi. Oh boy, it's my turn already. Let's go. Now that you've taken care of your immediate surroundings, it may be time to look inward. While your mind may seem as cluttered as your desk on occasion, it's nothing some dedicated idea sorting can't fix. I know you're asking, what is idea sorting? Well, it's a method that's been developed by none other than yours truly. You take a thought, any thought, and sort it into one of the 2 boxes. That's right! Take an idea and then simply pin it or bin it! Yeah. I'm sure you'll do just fine. Your desk cleaning skills were unmatched. This eraser's record was shattered to pieces. Hey! That kind of stuff is on a need-to-know basis! Anyways, get out there! Or rather, in there, and go sort yourself out! Good luck. Having a game show in my head might motivate me. That's damn true. That's damn true. I can't wait for it to be just mini games increase your motivation for a single spin at the end with 90% blue and you still fail it. Yep. Sort my thoughts. Oh, okay. This is an awesome thought. I pin it. This is an awesome thought. I pin it. This is a great thought. I pin it. This is a... Oh, this reminds me of Cypher's fan art of Insandio. And this is a great idea. I'm going to pin it. Oh, a dog holding a sword. That's a great idea. I'm going to pin it. A giant whale that wants to speak to the manager. That's a great idea. I'm going to pin it. Oh, this cute sheepy. Yeah, I'm going to pin it. Oh, Dazzling Duck Studios. Please pin me. I'll pay you an exposure. Oh, I love some good exposure. Oh, a bunch of cute stars. Pin it. Ooh, that's a cute heart. Let's pin that. Ooh, a magnifying glass. I like how it's colored. Trash the tofu. Wait, what was that last thing just now? Could that be a magnifying glass? I think so. We had a bunch of them on clearance at the register today. Stuck out, I guess. Wondrous! How I've waited for this! Huh? Now, where could she... It's you! It really is! Princess Beatums! How But have you been here the whole time? Oh. Hello, everyone. My name is Beatos, and I've been here the whole time. Is your friend supposed to sound like that? Shush now, pointy-headed cowboy! Come closer so I may perhaps hear you better. Does he have ears? Ah, I see. Interesting. Looks like we've got a third game on the board, my fellow pins and pinstresses, and a racer, which is me. But before I forget, let's take a proper gander at that wheel. Sorting your ideas has been known to work wonders. It truly lets the motivation flow freely. Wow. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. All right, we've got pressing matters sticking to our tape hands here. Since our little friend isn't large enough to be heard by the human ear, I'll go over the rules in her stead. Now, remember all those discarded sketches and old ideas you cleaned up just now? Beatums would like to eat them. Eat them? Well, you see, she's been with you ever since you were a young artist. She used to love it when you just had fun with your art, when it wasn't all about the end result. But is it not the creative process that is just as, if not even more rewarding than any result in the world? Shut up, Digi! Over time, as you moved on, started worrying more about your performance, she started shrinking! Oh, that's why she's so small. Also, it's really hard to take the character named Digi seriously because Digit is the name of my editor. So every time I see that name pop up, I'm like, shut up, Digit. Oh, they're all dead. They're all dead. Rip. She started shrinking. It never stopped. And now she's about the size of the tip of a push pin. And she can only regain her size by eating your art and ideas. Don't worry, she'll enjoy them, no matter how they taste. How about it? Not like the bin needs them. Okay. Why not? Weehaw. Oh, boom. Oh, help her grow fast. Oh, she's so tiny. Look at this tiny little frog. Oh, you want one of these? Boom. This is just trash. I'm not feeding you trash. Get the trash out of here. Oh, unless these are my crumpled up drawings. Feed her the duck. She's a very duck-based diet, this little guy. Boom. Boom. Wait. Oh, I think I was misunderstanding this. You have to feed her quickly. There's no picking and choosing or skipping. I see, I see. Oop. A little trash. I like how it's just trash and dazzling duck. That's it. Oh, I didn't see that trash in the corner there. Oh, I didn't see that one either. The little trash is hard to spot. Man, if I know I could feed this all from my little friend here, I would have trashed way more stuff. The gluttony sickens me. Okay, I'm full now, thank you. Oh, is that it? I'm small. Yeah, Goober, you're small, alright. Hey, thanks for helping her out. I've heard of her, but I came around after she turned to the size of a pixel, so we never talked. Oh, hey, we gotta look at the wheel. Wheel. The wheel! We forgot about the wheel, but luckily the wheel did not forget about itself, so it helpfully updated while we were playing. Shall we? It's fine. I don't need it. Whoa! I think I know what I want to do. I want to go back to sleep. Thank you, guys. You're certain? I'm certain. I want to have fun drawing again. It's been so long, but it's like riding a bike, right? Yeah. Right, I just have to get back on the bike again. Not right now, though. I'm exhausted. I'd fall asleep at my desk and screw my back up. You're finally taking care of yourself. I'm so proud. You already did fall asleep at your desk, though. And Digi, stop crying! Save it for the ending! But they've come so far, and this is also the ending. I'm headed to bed. For real this time. Look at this little guy. I think I'll give it another spin. I'll draw in the morning. Promise? Promise. Good night, everyone. Cecil, if you could send me back. Sorry, bud, that's out of my very sticky hands. Huh? Just kidding, no problemo. Don't ask me about my hands. And with that, Pins and Pinstresses, our show tonight has come to an end. Have a lovely rest of your evening. Good night. See you next burnout. Nighty night. See you next burnout is good. See you next burnout. What the hell, did you? Thank you for playing. Tofu to go. Programming, sound, story, and dog pictures. Molyuyo. Art, story, cat pics, and the auxiliary cord. What the heck? Yeah, see you at the funeral. See you next. Burnout is so real, right? Nice. And that was Recreate by Tofu to go and Molyuyo. All right, let me mute. Let's think critically about this game and see what kind of helpful feedback we can give. So, I think, first off, the thing that stands out to me the most is the art is extremely good. The art was so good that it almost hurt the section where I needed to pin or bin the different ideas because all of the individual drawings were good. Like, you know, I was just pinning everything because I was like, these are all very amusing drawings, you know. None of them looked like something I should get rid of out of my head. And then that was really good. Also, I think the writing was really good. I think the different personality between the hosts was nice. Although I do think there was a little bit of a clash between the artist and Digi. I feel like they had a pretty similar energy to them. So maybe making Digi stand out a little bit more or leaning into the artist's like depressed vibe so that their messages came out like a little bit weaker or something. Cause I really like the personality of the main host and I love the personality of the little bug who's like, I'm small. Like that's funny. And worked really well. So I think maybe a little bit more distinction between Digi and the artist, but other than that, I think the writing was really well done. So that was really good as well. And I like the concept of like, I fell asleep at my desk and now I'm playing through this like circus in my head to try to get my motivation back. I think all of those very, effective. The one area where I could say this game could probably use some improvement, and I need to get there, which I think there isn't a super fast way to get to it. So, the artist didn't have much personality besides being unmotivated, but that might be intentional. Yeah, the artist was kind of like softer and unmotivated, a little bit depressed. And Digi, I feel like was sort of hitting that vibe as well to me, like a little bit lower energy to contrast against Cecil, who was very high energy. And I think that makes sense. But I think Digi and the artist both being low energy is where things kind of like fell apart a little bit. So maybe Digi should have leaned into being a little bit more sarcastic, you know? I think Digi hitting the line like, see you next burnout feels both very funny and very sarcastic in a way that I think she probably could have encompassed through the rest of the messages as well, you know? I think maybe leaning into making her a little bit more sarcastic would hit too. But I think this reveal where I fall asleep and then the music plays, the drum roll, the spotlight, and like almost like an Amazing Digital Circus opening here. I think that was really, really well done to like set the stage for what's going on here. So great work on this. And I also think building up this wheel and then not using it is cool too. The idea that like you don't actually need to like risk it on a chance to have motivation. You can just draw because you want to. I think that that's a pretty fun concept. We wanted it to be a big misdirection. Yeah, I think that worked tremendously. I figured that this would be a very dark and dreary story, but it ended up being very high energy, which I think gets the idea across a lot better. I don't think every artist that's struggling feels like they're walking around in black and white. I think that sometimes it is there's like a big mess inside your head where, you know, you have different people shouting at you, different aspects of your personality. So I think this all worked really well. And also I think the writing and the way you stylize the text in here for the different characters works really well. I think that's probably why Cecil feels super high energy. Because of the way you stylize all his text. So I think you might have been able to do something similar with Digi. Like, it's a really underrated part of Undertale that like Sans and Papyrus have like different fonts. I think the fact that their fonts are different, I mean, both works with their names, but also the stylization of the text dramatically changes how you interpret the text, right? The presentation of the text is a part of the design of it. And I think presenting Cecil's text is like big and boisterous and floating and changing in size. Like it makes it feel like he's very boisterous, right? It's like the fact that his text is constantly changing also gives you the idea that his like inflection is changing, his volume's changing. I think that hits really well, you know? But it was a very wait, this game's got sauce moment when this reveal happened. True. And so I think that works really well, but I think you probably, and then you also had a nice stylization on the little guy, which worked. So maybe just giving another stylization that's separate from the artists to Digi would have been the thing that really like made her stand out as a character. Cause I feel like, especially even with like the long hair and what's going on here, Digi to me felt very similar to the artist. Sorry for spamming, but can I submit for playing now? You played today before the late submission ends. So if you post in the Showcase Saturday and have like the tag that is for Juniper Dev Jam, then I might be able to play it today. I'm just gonna grab Juniper's. I'm just gonna grab games from that's been submitted to the jam. So no guarantees, but if you submit it now, that's totally fine. Yeah, Digi had some more plans in the beginning with more time. I would have loved to give her more focus. I see. But yeah. So the one thing that I think, let me just click through this. And this is obviously very like story driven. So I think this amount of dialogue, you did a really good job with the dialogue. So I think that all worked really well. I also think the fact that he's so animated, where it's like the arms stick up and stick out and scronk around. I didn't even notice the giant pencil for a necktie. That's a really nice detail. I think that really helps his characterization as well. Whereas Digi is a lot more like less motion to her when she's talking. So I think that also could lean into the more sarcastic elements, right? Where if Digi is supposed to be lower energy to contrast Cecil, like you can make her poses a little bit like softer, but more like rolling her eyes and stuff like that could have worked. But you know, Cecil is a racer. What is Digi? I think Digi is probably some like Digi makes me think of like digital art or digital tablet or something, but we'll see. She's got the stylus hat. Yeah. So that's where the Digi comes from. So this is the one area where I think the game could use some thoughts, which is that this idea of like having a cluttered desk causes you to struggle more with your art is very real. I think this is very relatable. And I think when you're going through artistic ruts or depression in general, having like a messy situation is just like, I think like The Sims, you have like a negative moodlet if you don't have like a good environment. And I think that's an idea I keep in my head, you know, when my desk is messy, I do a worse job on everything I'm doing. So I try to keep my desk clean, right? I'm not trying to open, you know, an empty bottle store, but this gameplay of like, pick up the thing, drag it to the trash, pick up the thing, drag it to the trash, pick up the thing and drag it to the trash. This isn't very engaging. And I sort of got the gist of it even less than halfway through. And now I'm just like going through the motions. So this is like a huge, the like pixelated explosion when you put it in the trash is pretty funny though. But this right here is, it feels very like not last minute, but it feels very like we need to give something for the player to do other than just reading dialogue. So we just put like a thing here. I think my suggestion would be a couple ideas. Either gamify it somehow, where it's like there's some mini game to throwing the trash away, you know? This is a low time budget micro game. Yeah. A low time budget, I think, is the way to think about it. Not last minute, low time budget. So it's like you didn't have much time to put into this little micro game. So it's very like just drag the thing over. But I think that there is definitely an element of repetitiveness and like it drags on a little bit. So I think there are little ways you could improve this where it's like making the trash, either like adding some gamification to picking up the trash. Either add some gamification to picking up the trash or add some gamification to throwing it away. Like once you pick up the trash, like the trash bin starts cycling, you have to like hit it or whatever. Like just like combo scoring, throwing away the trash. Yeah, and then it's like I try to keep it realistic in real life. There's no gamification to cleaning up either. Yeah, I just think for a game it doesn't really work that well to me. It's like it is realistic. The throwing away trash isn't the most fun thing, but also like this is I feel like not a very realistic amount of trash to accumulate on the desk. But in any case, I think you could also even lean into that with the dialogue, right? Where it's like if you gamify this so that it's more engaging to get rid of the trash. If you add some gamification getting rid of the trash, you could have the characters, like you can have the artist, the frog say like, see, cleaning up your desk is a great way to fix your motivation. And then the artist is like, it's not actually that fun to throw away trash in real life though. And I think something like that could work if you want to even allude to the realism, you know? But yeah, I think this is the first part, because up until this point, I was really vibing with the game. This is the first part where you lost me a little bit. Especially because if you just wanted to be a cleanup, like little micro game thing, that's totally fine. But it just it just goes on for way too long. Yep. Yep. Nice. Okay. So All right, and we're back. Boom. Then the second game was the idea picking, right? Yeah, we pin it or bin it, the idea. And pin it or bin it feels like the thesis of the circus, right? This is what it's like building to. And the ideas pop in your head. And sorting your thoughts into bin it or pin it. This, I really like the concept here, right? Hey, PG Gamer, you need to listen to Lyra. She is a mod. Yeah. I really love the idea here, and the art is so good, but I don't understand. Like, the thing I was missing when I was playing this is, like, when do I put something in the bin? You know, it's like, the first one that came to mind as something I should bin was this one, because it's like a little gremlin attached to the phone. And so I was like, oh, is this supposed to represent like being addicted to the phone? So I should get rid of my phone addiction and only keep like the good ideas. But I was like, the drawing itself is nice. And like this representation of a phone addiction as like a little gremlin grabbing the phone. This is a cool drawing. So I like the drawing, you know? And then it was just like really cool drawings, a mushroom laying in some daisies. I like that drawing. I was like, ooh, a little cat with a fish. I don't know what this is supposed to represent, but I love the drawing, so I'm going to pin it. A little dog holding a sword. I don't know what this is supposed to represent anymore, but it's a great drawing, so I'm going to pin it. I would like to speak to a manager. This is too funny. It's like, I almost feel like this is supposed to be a negative idea or something, but it's such a funny drawing that it's just like, you got to pin it. Like that works for for like a comic. And then like a cute sheepy could represent getting a good night's sleep. Or I don't know, but it's a cute drawing, so I pin it. I think Mulyoyo is also, that's also like Mulyoyo's representation, right? The sheepy. And then the duck could represent anything. You obviously got to bin. And then this one I binned as a joke because it's your avatar tofu. But yeah, I think this concept is really good. The putting up these drawings and deciding whether you bin it or pin it, and like this is the central thesis of the game show. I think that's very cool. But there's not much to think about other than to just pin it. And so what I would say is there's this idea when you're doing art that like, and maybe this might just be my ADHD speaking, right? But sometimes I'm overwhelmed with all kinds of ideas and I want to do it all, and making the commitment. Mulyoyo says hi, by the way. Hey, thank you. Hello. Great game. I love your art. I love your art. And there's this idea that like there's stuff I don't do because I want to focus on other stuff that I do want to do. I have to like commit myself, you know? I didn't make a game for the Juniper Jam, even though I kind of wanted to, because I just didn't have time. I had other stuff I wanted to work on, right? And so that to me plays into this pin it or bin it idea where it's like, what are the ideas I actually need to dedicate my time to? And what are the ideas that unfortunately I gotta like wave bye-bye to, right? And all of these drawings are so good that maybe you have like a limited amount of brain capacity or whatever, and you have to decide what to bin and what to pin. And so the ideas form and you only have a certain amount of slots in here to like put the art into, and you have to decide what to get rid of. That way I can be like, well, I gotta keep the cute doggy, and I gotta keep the hilarious whale thing. So unfortunately I'm gonna get rid of the sheepy, and I gotta keep this cute cat. So tofu, you're in a bin, you know? It's like making it a little bit more relatable to like decision making would be a fun idea, I think. But with that in mind, I think you would want to then expand on the stuff you kept, right? If you keep a couple ideas in your mind, the next game where you're feeding the little dude, you would probably want to feed him based on the drawings you kept. Now, this is probably outside of the scope of a game jam, but this is the first. Oh, can you still hear me? I think I hit the mute button on my microphone on accident, but I think I turned it back on. Okay, looks like it's still picking me up. This is probably out of the scope of a jam game, but it would be cool, I think, if each of these, yeah, it takes the binned ideas for the third one. I got that. But what I was thinking is if instead of taking the binned ideas for the third one, if each of these ideas that you keep expands into like 2 or 3 more drawings, and then the things you're feeding the little dude at the end come from this collection of stuff you actually kept in your brain. Because it's like you're continuing to feed yourself by working on the stuff that you've dedicated your mind to. It eats the bin ideas is even a bad drawing is still fun. Yeah, I guess that's another, that metaphor like makes sense to me, that like even your bad ideas like are valuable it's funny that in the game it was just the duck, right? That even your bad ideas are still valuable and fun to do. So I think that makes sense. But yeah, I think if you want to do this like brain sorting where you get to keep the stuff you actually are valuing, you need to like pay that off somehow. And I think paying it off right now, but I think the fact that the third game only uses the stuff I threw away rather than the stuff I kept was a little bit of a letdown for me, because I really liked all the drawings I kept. That's why I kept them and I wanted to see them again. So when I was like, you have to feed him the art, I was like, oh, I can't wait for all that stuff that like I pinned to come back. And instead it was all the stuff I binned came back. Now I think that might be a little bit like of a moral thing. But it also, I think, was a little disappointing because I pinned so many things. So I think if you force me to bin stuff and then feed it from the bin selection, that could work. Then again, you could have the game be something about like how pinning the stuff means you get to keep working on it. So you're feeding it with like stuff related to the ideas you kept. So there's like a couple different ways to do it. But this section here just really feels like a little underutilized because I think it's such a good idea and with such great art, but there wasn't really any decision making here. And a lot of what makes video games fun is interesting decision making. And I think even just only allowing me to pin like 3 drawings makes me make decisions. How do I decide which drawings I want to keep? And even that tiny change, even if that's all that changes, is I only get to pick 3 to pin, and I can see my 3 pinned ones over here, and I can throw one into the bin to pin more of them. Like that makes it a decision, which gives me something to think about, right? And I can make my little jokes and make my decisions and pick the art I like the most, you know? Wouldn't the game crash if you pin everything then? I'm guessing if you pin everything, then it's just little rolled up paper. I implemented this and the third one and like 80% of the game yesterday. Yeah. So I definitely understand from the perspective of a jam that like you're crunching it out. So I totally get that. But if we're looking at this as like rather than as what you were able to get done in the context of the jam and more of like a whole game experience, I think that's the one thing that this is missing here is there's nothing driving the interesting decision making. It's like you're giving me a decision, but there's like, I could just pick pin on everything because I like it all. And then I don't have to worry about it, you know? And I think that those, please pin me, I'll pay you an exposure is very funny. The drawings are just so good that like, it's really easy to just pin everything without needing to think too much. But yeah, I think the third game actually had more of a gamification to it where the guy like will grow, but he also shrink if you're not giving him the ideas. And so I think that worked fairly well, except for he might've been shrinking a little bit too fast. I feel like I was really like hustling. And then also maybe making more of the stuff to feed him spawn so that it's about grabbing in as quickly as you can rather than like no mistakes. But, I think that the gamification on the third one worked a little bit better than the other ones. But yeah, overall, really, really, really fun experience. And I think that like it had a lot of good stuff going for it and the art is so good. So, yeah, great job. Let me go back to my talking head. Okay. Next up. Boom. Yeah. So game 1 was cathartic and relaxing. Game 2 was introspective and creative. And number 3 was having fun. Yeah, I think the idea there makes sense to me. I think the execution is where it missed a little bit. I think the first one dragged on too long, so it ended up not actually being that relaxing. And the second one, because there wasn't anything driving the interesting decisions, there wasn't as much introspective as I wanted. But I think the ideas were there. I think that it was close. I think that it was close. And then I think the third one worked. Just have fun with art and creation. I think that worked. Although I wish I had more of the fun drawings to feed. But yeah. Okay. Next up, we have Deck Builder with a Gun by Hamhog and EasyJCat2. It's a deck builder. You have a gun. It can't get much more serious than that. Buy bullets. It should be self-explanatory how to use them. Shields, block damage. Okay. Made in Godot. Deck builder with a gun. You sure Monarch wasn't on this team? That's a very Monarch UI there. Okay, let me turn this down a little bit. Okay. Okay, deck builder with a gun. Nice. Cat's at work, sadly. Oh, okay, you'll have to send her the VOD with a timestamp. Okay, deck builder with a gun. Let's go. Okay, I have 20 health. They have 15 health. I can shoot my gun. I missed. Oh, I have to load a bullet. Okay, I thought this green thing was the bullet. Oops. 1 damage, rotates the barrel 1 shot clockwise. 1 shot clockwise. Okay, so these are all basic bullets. Okay, so does this shoot all 6? Ah, it shoots all 6. Got it, got it. All right, and this is my only card right now. Boom. Fire. Gonna take a little bit more damage. Great animation on the firing there. I love this little like smear bullets. Wait a sec. The wait a sec on the health bar is so good. Oh man. All right. Shop with a gun. Don't you love how serious this game is? Heal to max, increase max by 1. Choose 1 of 3 random bullets. Okay, I want the random bullets. Deals 1 damage, fires an extra time, rotates the barrel 1 slot counterclockwise. Deal 1 damage, gets $1 1 shot, rotates the barrel 1 shot clockwise. Or deal 1 damage, fire an extra time, 1 counterclockwise. Okay, okay. I think I'll take the damage upgrade first. And then I think, okay, and then another bullet. Deals a random number from 1 to 3 damage. If it damages 3, it fires again. Rotate the barrel by 2 spaces clockwise. Deals half damage for each bullet fired this turn. Okay. Deals 3 damage. If this bullet kills the enemy, increase max up by 1 and heal to max health. Rotates the barrel 2 slots clockwise. Okay, so I'm going to pick this one because it's rare. And I think this is a great lesson in helping your players make decisions with like heuristics. I just got started. There's a lot of information. It's hard to make a decision. This one being marked rare is obvious and makes me think, okay, this one seems good, and I can just trust that intuition because the developer is telling me this is better than an uncommon. So this helps me make a decision easily. I don't need to think too much. That's a really good decision. Okay, let's leave. All right, so rotates the barrel 1 slot counterclockwise. So I think what I want to do is clock. Oh, that's 2 slots clockwise. Okay, then shoot this, and then if I go backwards, will it fire this one again? Let's find out. How much health did he have? I didn't pay attention. Okay, 2 shots clockwise. So this will do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 3. So unfortunately, and then it might fire this one again, but I think we're expecting to see 8 damage. Okay, 8 damage. And then deals 3 damage if it kills the enemy, increase max health by 1 and heal. So we put that one first. Oh, I see. Oh, wait a sec. The wait a sec is so funny. Okay, perfect. And we heal to full, so we don't need to buy that, so we can just buy our bullets, which we can only afford 1. Deals 0 damage. The next bullet fires an extra time. Rotates the barrel by 1 slot clockwise, okay? Deals 3 damage. If this bullet kills the enemy, increase max health by 1 and heal to max health. Deals 1 damage, heals 3 health, and rotates the barrel 1 shot clockwise. Just straight up healing. And it's a clockwise rotation. I think we take the straight up healing with a clockwise rotation. Seems good. Yeah, bullets don't get re-triggered after they use. Yes, sir. Yes. I think I've confirmed that now. I don't really want to go... Okay, so this counterclockwise means I can only really put that at the end. But 3 damage is really good. I think I'd probably rather end with 3 damage. So we do... like this, right? Because this is all basic damage. This is 1 damage, heal 3, which doesn't matter. And then this is 3 damage, and we're not skipping anything because it's last. Nice, okay. I'm gonna dip and go to bed. Good night, time zone. Good time zone, everyone. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Nathan. Good to see you. Okay. We have the double bullet, so we just want to deal enough damage. We want to deal enough damage so that we can get our max health and heal on the next fire, and we got it. So we want to deal 3, so we deal 1, 2, 3, 6, fire. Nice, nice. Wait a sec. All right. Shop with a gun. Delta Rune Chapter 5 tomorrow. 1 to 3 random bullets. Okay. Heal 3 health. Heal 3 health. Those are both really good. 3 damage is good too, but it skips a slot, which is rough. Oh! But we can use the counterclockwise to help deal with this issue. So we should definitely take the healing one. It deals 3 damage. Pow. Deals 1 damage, explodes, dealing an extra damage, rotates 1 slice counterclockwise. Deals 3 damage. Deals 0 damage. The next bullet fires an extra time. Okay, we take the ghost bullet, because that'll help us deal big damage. Right. Okay. So this two slots clockwise, right? So first we ghost bullet. Then we healing blow to fire twice. Then we rotate counterclockwise. Then we skip another 2 into a healing bullet, into a fire bullet. Boom, big damage. Look at that incredible bullet layout. Look at it. 18.05. Why do you have a 20th of a HP? Where did that come from? Okay. I would really like... Okay, I don't think there's any way I can deal enough damage to take them out, but I can do my same layout with ghost bullet into this, into backwards, into skip, into healing bullet, into bullet. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. And then we just double healing blow. Nice, nice, nice. We heal to full, and we get some max HP. And then we can continue buying good bullets. The greedy bullet gives extra money. Deal 5 damage, rotates the barrel 2 shots counterclockwise. Ooh, okay. 2 slots counterclockwise. That's very tough to pull off. I'm gonna try though. About 1 shot counterclockwise. Deals 3 damage. Healing blow lets me do some skips. We could also do multiple counterclockwise rotations, right? With a double bullet. Let's try that. Okay, so we have big bullet, 2 slots counterclockwise. This is 1 slot clockwise. So if we do this, we'll go clockwise. Then this will go 2 counterclockwise. Right, so that'll go here. Then we can do counterclockwise. So that'll go here, here, here. Here, here. And then we'll miss one. And then we'll miss one. Because we'll have to go clockwise. So, can I skip a slot with the healing to go here? Then we go backwards. 2 slots counterclockwise, right? So come here. So we ghost. No, we don't ghost. We just healing blow. Healing blow here puts us here. Go counterclockwise with 2 with the big bullet, right? No, that'll go here. Then we can skip. Oh, this is complicated. Holy. Whew. Okay. We skip 2. Go back. How do we go back? With a double bullet. So we double bullet to here, big bullet to here, double bullet to here. But unfortunately, then we didn't ghost on the big bullet. We're pretty, because the big bullet always goes clockwise. So we kind of, unless we healing into double bullet, into healing to skip again. No, okay, so we ghost big bullet, which brings us here, and then we double healing. Okay. I don't think there was any other way to do this. Wow, what a horrible hand. Wait, why am I so low on health? How much damage does this guy do? Well. Oh, I missed out on damage there for no reason, but I think I'm dead. Deck builder with a gun. Okay, there's no like game over screen. Okay. Cool. I think, did he just do like so much damage? Nice. Okay, but now I understand what's going on. Unfortunately, there's just no way to avoid needing to pay for a heal. after this fight. There is no way to play around. No, wait a sec. And I got way less money this time too, right? Last time I got here, I could afford 2 bullets and a heal. It deals 0.5 damage for each bullet fired this turn. Should I greedy bullet so I can get more upgrades? That seems good. I think I might just die. Let's find out. Let's find out. Oof. That's 6 damage? Yeah, I think I'm dead. That's a fast death. Oh, no. Okay, only 4. Yeah, not having the heal to full is rough. I earned $10, so I can heal, which I have to. And then Ghost. Oh, the charging bullet. The chaging bullet. That's my boy, the chaging bullet. I think we take the chaging bullet here. Ghost. We could take another chaging, or we could ghost. Next bullet fires an extra time. All right, we want to ghost into chaging. Okay. So, greedy, bullet, 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 ghost, chaging. Boom. Nice, nice, nice. And then we do the same thing. Oh. Oh, I can take them out. That's nice. That's nice. I thought I, like, cooked myself. Oh, that's really convenient. I thought once you put them in, they were stuck there. But knowing that I can take them out makes this way easier to organize. Minor spelling mistake. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullets that have been fired. So this will deal 2.5. And then it fires again. So in theory, it should do 3. Because it fires twice, right? So that should deal 5.5 plus 4. So this should deal 9.5, which means we don't actually get the finish here. Okay, I can't count. So I bet you didn't even consider I don't know how to count. By 1 bullet for sure. Big bullet! Deals 1 damage, lights hit enemy on fire for 3 turns. Rotates clockwise. Fires an extra time. Okay, double bullet I think is going to put extra charging on my charging bullet. So I think we take double bullet here. And then let's get another bullet. Healing! Healing is good. Alright, let's leave. Okay, we definitely want to heal. We definitely want the double bullet. We definitely want to... Wait. Oh, I am very dumb. The double bullet fires counterclockwise. I wasn't paying attention to that. Well, that's quite unfortunate. Sorry, double bullet. You were a waste of my money. I hate the spelling. Oh, you gotta be joshing me on this one. You gotta be draking me on this one. Okay. We definitely gotta heal. And honestly, I think we should fire the healing bullet twice. Get some money. And then I think we finish him off with the charge. Oh, it wasn't enough damage. I should have just finished him off instead of healing. Oh, what are you gonna do? At least we can pay for the healing. Maybe I should have fired the gold bullet twice if I was gonna need to pay for a heal anyway. Hey, well, yeah, I was on 1 health. Healing blow! Oh, explosive frenzy. 2 slots counterclockwise. Deals 0.2 damage, fires 10 times, creating an explosion with each shot. So this deals 2 damage, but fires 10 times. That's interesting. Honestly, just deals 3 damage. 2 slots clockwise is really tough to deal with. Okay, I want to try Explosive Frenzy. That seems fun. The 2 slots counterclockwise. Almost feels like I have to finish on this, right? Yeah, because I don't have anything that skips a bullet yet, so I'm still a little bit stuck on finishing with this guy. But that's fine. We fire these. And then we double explosion. Wait. It feels like my explosion didn't happen twice. Am I wrong? I wonder if the explosion fires 10 times and then the bullet say it fires twice, doesn't actually fire 10 times and then fire again. I wonder if it makes it fire 11 times. I would need to rewatch to find out if that's what happened, but I think I'm dead here. I am dead here. Deck builder with a gun. Nice. Okay. Let's think critically about this game and see what kind of feedback we can provide. So I think the thing that really hit me first and foremost is that this is a really good concept for a game. Like conceptually, you will have knocked it out of the park because this works so well as a deck builder. I really like the revolver mechanism because it's something that is intuitively easy to understand, right? It's like, I think most people are familiar with the concept of a revolver with 6 bullets. And as you shoot, it goes to the next chamber, right? I think the explosive bullet didn't do as much damage as it reads. Yeah, I think that might have been some kind of bug or something. I really think it was maybe the interaction with the ghost. Unless, did I put the ghost in? Did I put the wrong bullet in? I would need to rewatch it back because it didn't do what I expected for sure. But yeah, I think the idea of the revolver spinning and each bullet firing is conceptually very easy to grasp, right? It makes perfect sense. Most people are familiar with this idea that as you fire, the bullet goes around, right? It's weird how every second loadout is either stacked or has nothing rather than a balance. Yeah, it almost feels like after I use a bullet, it goes into the discard and then I draw from the rest of my deck. So that like after I use all my cool bullets, I'm left with a pretty weak hand. But yeah, I think so this makes a lot of sense. And the fact that the bullets control how the revolver rotates is very clever because that means you can put strong effects on bullets that have weird rotations, right? They're difficult to use. And I think the feeling that I got when I like used the ghost into my 3 damage bullet to deal 6 damage, skip 1, but then went back 1 into another skip 1 so I could continue rotating correctly was extremely satisfying, right? That was the most satisfying turn I had with the game. And I think that this mechanic you've set together with how the bullets rotate is like why that mechanic is so successful. So that works tremendously well. Additionally, I think there's so much room to come up with really cool effects and really cool ideas for how your gun can work with this mechanic, right? Stuff that's like this bullet can fire twice or this bullet can fire 3 times so that if I can jump back to it multiple times, it will like let me fire a bunch, right? And then somehow building up to 1 bullet where it's like this bullet shoots an additional time for every bullet fired before it. Stuff like that so that I'm trying to like jump back and forth between all my bullets that can fire a bunch before finally like landing on my final one, right? I think all of that stuff can work really well. And then you can have other synergies too, like the explosive bullet can deal damage based on every fire bullet that was shot beforehand. So you can have really simple synergies. I rewinded it. You put the ghost in right next to the explosion bullet. Oh, okay. So nothing on my end. Good to know. Yeah, I was really looking forward to shooting my 20 explosive bullets and seeing what happened. So when that didn't happen, it was a little bit sad, but yeah, so this game has the capability for super simple combos, right? Where it's like, you know, dealing damage by spinning in a circle very straightforwardly, simple synergies of like fire bullets make explosion deal more damage, or like this bullet deals more damage based on every bullet fired before. So then you're just trying to fire more. Like healing stuff. They're very simple synergies, and you can build very complex synergies where it's like this bullet does, doubles its damage every time the revolver rotates during a shot cycle. So then you're trying to like, this one skips 3 forward, this one skips 4 forward, this one skips 5 forward, into like skips like 6 forward to try to hit the one so that you've like spun the wheel like 6 times to do like mega damage with one shot. That's a synergy that's going to be hard to pull off, but would be extremely satisfying, right? And so you have the potential for super complex synergies, and you have the potential for super simple synergies. And that is the makings of a successful roguelike, right? There's a bunch of different builds you can try, and they're all really satisfying, and different players can lean into different types of bullets, right? And I totally understand the context of this is a jam game, so you didn't have time to really like, you know, hammer in all the different types of synergies and stuff. But I think as far as jam games go, the thing that a lot of jam games are doing is like building a prototype for something to see if you like working on it and if it's like something that can be built into a full game. And I think you two have made an extremely successful prototype here. I want to keep playing this game. Like, I wish I could go on Steam and buy the full version of this right now with more synergies and stuff so I could keep playing it. Like, this is an extremely fun idea. It's sort of like it's scratching the same itch that Slay the Spire scratches, right? In a way, in a form factor that I haven't done before, where I'm building these like spinning synergies, you know? making the systems was funky. I'm not very good at making these kinds of games, but Kat was able to make it work. Nice. Let's go, Kat. And then I think on top of the systems you've already showed here, I think you have some really cool ability to continue expanding it with like different upgrades to the revolver, where it's like this revolver is the basic one. You can have one that's like it always moves twice. So rotate the barrel 1 slot clockwise, the revolver will rotate 2 slots clockwise, right? So that you can like continue building on top of that, or like whenever this revolver, whenever it fires, add 1 damage to every other bullet that hasn't been fired yet, right? So you can like take different upgrades to the gun. You can have different characters. Like this character is obviously very cool. You did a great job with the animation on them. And they could just be the basic character. Then you could have characters that's like deals extra fire damage or whatever, right? The same way Slay the Spire has multiple characters. You can have multiple characters. You have multiple guns. You can have relics that it's like, you know, a relic that just increases your fire damage, or you heal every 10th bullet or whatever, which synergizes well with a build that shoots a lot of bullets, right? And then you can also add complexity to the enemies, because right now you just have this one demon. But you can add more complexity to the demon, to the different enemy types, so you have more stuff to think about. And so basically, as a prototype, this has a ton of potential. And yeah, I think Lyra said this demo looks similar promising as IGTAP. I agree. When I played IGTAP on stream for the first time, I was like, this game has crazy potential. This is a really good idea. This game is scratching a similar itch to me, where it's like, this is clearly a roguelike. It makes perfect sense as a roguelike, and it's interesting in a way I haven't seen before, right? I've played a ton of roguelikes, but I haven't seen this particular mechanic. Maybe there is already a revolver roguelike on Steam that I don't know about, which would be unfortunate. But if it doesn't exist, like, this is doing it, you know? Yeah. So I think from a prototyping idea, like gameplay mechanics perspective, you have really nailed it with this jam game for sure. I think there are some rough edges with how like the shuffling works and how you're presented with the options. And I think that obviously there's no different enemy types. So I think that's all stuff that's clearly missing because it's a jam game, but it's really easy to look past. And then I think the other thing to mention is like, I like the way you did the UI. It feels polished for a jam game, right? Where it's like, everything is like nice and juicy and you can click on it and stuff. But I think for a full version of this game, you would definitely want the effects to like appear a little bit more dramatically, where it's like, you can like see what happened and maybe like a log of the bullets I fired, so I can see like how they worked together, and like, more, like, what's the word? More differentiation on the bullet casings themselves, so that I can understand what my cards are a little bit easier without needing to hover over them. But I think in general, if you consider this UI as placeholder, I think it gets the job done. I think it would probably need quite a bit of sprucing up to make it work, but the idea here is very, very solid. And I think that right there, the character like flourishing the gun and shooting all the bullets as the thing rotates, that is a very satisfying way to cap off playing all my cards, right? I set everything up and I say go, and then it like fires everything. That's very satisfying. I think for a full version, you would want the bullets to maybe have some slightly different effects or animations, maybe different animations on the character too, so that like as you're firing, this is assuming like a 1 to 2 year version of the game, right? But you could do a lot of stuff to make that moment as satisfying as possible. Have some effects on the casings down here, have the effects show up on the enemy, make everything really clear, have like a log of what's going on, like making it like just building out all the systems you need to give the player the information and the effects to showcase like what the game is, like what's going on in the game, and to really lean into how satisfying this moment is. This moment of like, once I've set up now obviously this is all the basic cards, so this isn't as satisfying, but imagining I set up like a crazy combo that I've been working towards, I have my relics, I have everything activated, I press fire, and then it's like pew 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 pew, and I just keep firing, all kinds of different effects going off, enemies just like taking damage. It's like, that would be extremely satisfying to see, right? So yeah, and then the shop works well, again, for a jam game. It gets the idea across, right? Where you go to the shop, you have some money, you choose a random upgrade, you pick the one you want. 2 spaces clockwise. If the damage is 3, it fires again. Heal. I think the healing is really important. And so I think like this works as a great concept of a shop. I think the other game design thing that I would think about is the fact that when you take damage in the fight, it's persistent, right? The damage sticks around with you. So after you finish the fight, you have to manage your health, and there is an option in the shop to heal. In Slay the Spire, this works a lot better because you have a lot of cards that you can use to mitigate damage. Like, damage mitigation is a big part of Slay the Spire. When are you willing to take damage versus when are you playing safe to prevent damage? When are you going to spend your points on healing versus when are you going to spend them to become stronger? And are you going to become stronger in a way that mitigates damage so that it's more beneficial to take the upgrade in the long term, right? There's this whole metagame of managing your health. With this game, there is no health management other than killing the enemy as fast as possible, and the healing bullets, right? But there is no damage mitigation. You just are going to take damage, which makes this become a little bit more mandatory until you have the bullets that can give you the healing you need, right? You don't start with any default mitigation or any default healing. And I think that that's fine. I think that's interesting that you don't have default mitigation or healing because it's a very offensive game, right? It's like you're shooting them with your gun. You could have some defensive bullets, but I think leaning into the more offensive synergies rather than defensive synergies is cool. But it's hard to have the persistent damage mitigation health, like the persistent health that needs damage mitigation and healing and all that stuff, combined with the aggressive style, because you end up in a situation where you're spending a lot of your resources on healing. The first run I did where I got the heal to full bullet was extremely nice because I got it early. And it let me save up money for buying bullets, which is the more fun part of the game, you know? The barrel spinning back and forth with all the rotate effects would be really satisfying to see as well. Yeah, totally. It's like leaning into that to make that sequence like really sick, I think would be the thing that makes the game stand out. Cause like if I'm picturing in my head, like what is the Steam demo or the Steam trailer going to look like, and seeing a sequence of like loading up the bullets into the gun and then clicking fire and it's like pew 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 and the character is shooting and the gun is rotating and there's like sparks flying off. It's like I could see that moment in the trailer being extremely enticing to people, because then you show in the trailer that it's like a deck builder, you pick the bullets, you load up the gun, and it's like, oh, I want to play that. But I do think like right now the way the health mitigation, the health mitigation feels slapped on in a way that it's taking inspiration from roguelikes that have different core mechanics. So I would really consider how the health works. And with the way the health works, you might want to consider like doing a world map type thing, like how Slay the Spire has, not world map, but like a run map where you get to pick events. You can fight harder enemies or go to shops or whatever. Because that's a way to decide if you want to heal or if you want to do something else. Right. And then you could make healing a lot freer. Like, healing is less expensive than it is in Slay the Spire. That way you can choose it more often if you don't want to make the player need to spend as many resources on it, right? Because if you want to lean the game more aggressive, like it's about dealing damage as fast as you can, don't mitigate the damage, then you make healing a little bit cheaper so that when you're navigating the map, you have a little bit of an easier time getting the healing, which lets players spend their resources on the stuff that makes the game more fun, like doing the damage. And that's just a different way to balance it, and it might be something you have to think about for expanding a game like this, but I just want to say kudos on, on what you two made here. This is a very, very promising prototype. I think that it's got a lot of rough edges, obviously, and a lot of stuff that can be improved and expanded upon. But for the purposes of making a prototype for a jam to see if people like it and see if it's a good idea, I think you have nailed it. I think this really works as a game. And if you two continue working on it, I would love to play it again in the future, because this is really, really sick. Great job. But nice. Okay, cool. Let me switch to my talking head view. And next up, we have Umop. Great game. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Lyra. Really good job. Okay. Next up, we have Umop by King Midas. Yeah, Zlodu. I've said it before, but I don't want the chat to just become people begging for their game to be played with no other discussion. So if I play games when people ask for their game to be played, it incentivizes people to just chat, just leave messages of please play my game. So when you ask me to play your game, I feel like I need to not play it. Otherwise, that's all chat will become. Right? So if you want to if you want your game to be played, the best thing to do is just enter it and then chill. Just enjoy the stream and, fingers crossed, hope your game pops up. Or counting how many streams you've been waiting. Yeah. Please don't do that either. Thank you, Lyra. Thank you. Kat's going to go crazy with this feedback. I hope so. I think I hope you and Kat both feel very, I hope you both feel very proud of what you made, because how long is the Juniper Jam? It was like 7 days, right? June 19th to June 26th. Yeah, in 1 week. Yeah, in 1 week, you two put together a prototype that's like really, really solid. And is a great demonstration of what the game could be. So, yeah, my recommendation for you two, if you want to continue working on it, obviously, if you two don't like the game, then it doesn't matter how good of a prototype it is, then, you have to enjoy making it. For me, I made one game called, Extremely Massive Hotel or something like that. Yeah, Extremely Massive Hotel. It's very big, in parentheses, please believe me. And that game I hated working on, and it was like a tower defense. And I was like, okay, so I'm not going to make a tower defense game. I feel like there's lots of stuff I like working on, but tower defense was just not fun. That was a banger game. The gun one, by the way, I was drawing. Yeah, no worries. I am happy to be a second monitor content while you're working on your games or drawing or whatever. But yeah, really, really great game. And as long as you two like working on it, I would definitely recommend taking a longer sprint, like a month or something, and trying to make a more full prototype, actually come up with more enemies, come up with some relics or whatever system you want to do for that, come up with more bullet types, more archetypes, flesh out the systems and the mechanics to make a fuller prototype, and then see how that does, right? Because if your fuller prototype that you spend a month or two, depending on how long you want to, I would say you don't even necessarily need to improve the graphics yet, or the art behind it, or the treatment, or redo the UI. Just focus on the mechanics. Prototype a version of the game that extends the gameplay that you've already done such a good job on, and then see if that can sustain people playing run after run after run after run after run. And if it can, then I would go, full steam on doing up the art, doing up the UI, the music, and getting all that ready, because I think you have something. I think your prototype is really good. I think the first stage for making your full Steam game, where you make a jam prototype of it that people like, you nailed. So I hope you're very proud of it. And good luck. Flushing systems now. Yeah. My suggestion would take a month to turn your game into a toilet. Sorry if it sounded like I was begging earlier. Yeah, it's okay. I know you are excited to see your game played. I totally understand. If you're understanding my perspective, it's easy to see why I'm not able to play games, because people are excited, right? Why does my Google Chrome have a taskbar in it? Oh, yeah, dude, it's so annoying. I keep a couple tabs open so I don't have to log into different accounts and stuff. So I can keep them all separate, for managing Isadora and stuff. But the other day, Google Chrome just signed me out of everything. So then I needed to open up new tabs, and I haven't even done it all yet. It's so annoying. Anyway, we got Umop by King Midas. Click to focus. By King Midas. Umop. Which I believe is down, upside down. Yes. Whoa. Oh, the gravity just keeps flipping back and forth. Whenever I touch either the ground or the ceiling, the gravity flips. Okay, that's interesting. I went the wrong way, I think. Oops. Oh, thank you for reminding me I was muted. I have to mute the audio because sometimes I'll get copyright claims on the music from games if it's royalty-free stuff that people use for a jam. And even if it's not supposed to get claimed, it can be tough to deal with. So I mute myself during the feedback section so that even if the game gets muted, the developer can still listen to the feedback. But I forgot to turn it off. The pixel art is so good. Yeah, King Midas's pixel art is on another level. And King Midas's particle effects are also so good. Yo, space. Oh, I can slam. Nice. Oh, an enemy. I really didn't expect there to be a boss fight. Oh, snark. Oh, nope. Nice. Ooh, okay. Oh, his moves are incredible. Nice. Dodged. Yo! Hold on a second, King Midas. You kind of cooked. What the heck? Dodged. Dodged. Oh. Boom. Oh, I thought I dodged that. Oh, okay, okay. He's going down. Do it again. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I got this. I got this. Ah, I thought I switched in time. Oh, dodged. Oh, get home. Boom. Got him. Boom. Oh, not today, freak. Boom. Boom. Ah, I tried to dodge. Dude, this movement is unbelievably unique. What were you on when you came up with this, King Midas? Holy smokes. Nice. Dodge. Dodge. Oh, I thought I had it. I thought I had the dodge. Do it again. Okay. There's one. Dodge. Nice. Okay. Oh, I bounced. Oof, oof, oof. I jumped into that one. Okay, we got to the other side of that attack. Ah, I pressed my dash with the right timing. Oof. I think I was in an unfortunate position. Maybe I needed to double dash there. Go to the left here. Oh, okay. He kind of cooked me that time. He kind of cooked me that time. Do it again. Nice. Okay. Nice. King Midas, you're so good at, like... Oh, dodge. A unique movement. Oh, that attack has such range on it. Dodge. Boom. And another one. We're getting the hang of it. I was a little bit slow. Oh, I should have gone to the left there. Nice. Nice. Boom. 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 Okay, we're fine, we're fine. Just don't take damage. Oh, get cooked, brother. Let's go, let's go. Dude, this is so sick. Yeah, so the fact that, like, you can't control your vertical movement other than quickly dashing in the direction you're going is so interesting. It's very unique. And it makes the boss fight, like, extremely different. I found a secret. I found a secret. I found a secret. Oops. Hold. Hold M? Oh, for map. But I have I have my mouse on my... I have my hand on my mouse. That's the sentence I wanted to do. Another boss fight. Boom. 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 Not today. There's spidery movement there, lady. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought I was in the clear. I was not in the clear. Very Crawfather-esque attack there. Oh, not today. Boom. Nope.
Dodge.
Hey, get cooked, brother.
Let's go. I think we need to abandon the idea of this game having a normal enemy. True. I think you can tell from King Midas's games that bro is a gamer. You want difficult boss fights, you come to King Midas. Oh, Snark. Okay. Oh, I thought I dodged that. Okay. Oh, what's going on? I'm so lost. This guy's got so many moves. Ah! I apologize for my words and my deeds. I'm dead. Oh. Okay, dodging this attack with this unique movement is unbelievably difficult. That's the attack that's like, hope you figured out the movement. Hope you got it on lock, brother. Okay. Nope. Oh. Nice. Ah, dang it. Okay. No. Oh, Snark. How do I do it again? How do I dodge that? Bouncing. Ooh. I should have... What could I have done there? Was there any way... I think I put myself into a no dodge zone. How do I dodge that? Help! Oh, okay. I need to go to the right there. I dodged that one on accident. I mean, on purpose, like a gamer would. Oh, and I'm dead. Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, you just kind of have to squirrel through it. That is a tough attack to dodge. Ooh, okay. I need to spam a little bit less. But it's just so fun bouncing this up. Okay. Come on. Oh, if I stay really close to him, I can dodge it. There we go. Figured it out. Oh! Okay, if he goes into his Nightmare King Grim cocoon state thing, I need to stay on him. Oh! Ah! Stay on him. Oh. Close one. Ah. Nice. Okay, stay on him. All right. Don't do your sword thing, please. I'm really bad at dodging it. No, that's specifically what I asked you not to do. Oh, got him anyway. Clear. 956. Let's go. Gaming. I was making monkey notes. Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah. Panicking. Oh, man. What a good game. Holy smokes. All right, King Midas, you cooked. Holy. That is so good. That was peak? Yeah. All right. Let's think critically about this game to see what feedback we can give. All right. My first piece of feedback would be it's peak. It's incredible. Extremely well done. My first piece of feedback is I'm so mad that it's over. I wanted to fight like 100 more bosses, please. I immediately request 17 more levels of this, a full world. Yeah, really, really great game. Holy smokes. Yeah, Midas, you cooked on this one. Holy, this is so good. I feel like that's been my reaction to like the last 3 games that Midas submitted to Showcase Saturday, though. But yeah, I think one thing about this game that really stands out is the movement is, I don't think I've ever played a game with movement like this before. Nothing even close to it, really. The fact that it's like you change direction when you hit the ceiling, and that's it. You either hit the ceiling and go down or hit the floor and go up. And then you can dash to accelerate in the direction you're already moving. There's no other control over the dash. That makes all the ways that you can dodge attacks very unique to this game. That attack where he was like spawning swords in a circle around himself is trivial to dodge in any other Metroidvania. You just stand in a spot where you're not going to get hit. That attack is nothing in a normal like boss fight with normal platformer controls. In this game, that attack took me a bunch of phases before I finally figured out a movement pattern that can help me deal with it. And even then it wasn't like 100%, right? Additionally, making the dash that like changes my movement, also my attack, was very, very smart because it forces me to adapt to the movement. You know, I can't get through it by like, you know, barely fumbling around on the screen and attacking where possible. This helps me like, this forces me to understand the movement and understand the dash mechanic, because if I'm using it to hit the boss and not ready to adapt to how I'm now moving around the screen, it's like not possible to beat the bosses, right? So I think that this movement mechanic is so good. And it really, not only is this movement mechanic super interesting, which opens up really interesting opportunities for the bosses, but you also then use that to make really good bosses for it, right? It's not obvious how you make a boss fight around this movement, right? It's not obvious at all. You put this movement in front of someone, it's going to take some iteration to design a boss that's fun to fight using these mechanics. But you did that somehow in 7 days, you managed to make 3 boss fights that all were built around this movement very, very well. And I think the difficulty scaling was pretty smooth too, because that last guy was definitely the hardest. And the first guy I think was the easiest. But the first guy, I have to fight him when I'm still not used to the movement at all. I just got this dash. So that boss fight was tuned down, but still difficult enough that I had to die a bunch of times, which gave me time to like really master the dash. I think maybe the second boss could have been a little bit more difficult or had a little bit more health, but I had to get really good at this attack to beat the first boss, which made the second boss a little bit easier to tackle. So I think from a design perspective, the movement is extremely clever, and then you use the bosses with it very well as well. You also used the bosses around the mechanic very well. See if you can get the first guy easily now. Okay, that's an interesting idea. Try it out. Also, clever name, Umop. Umop is a very clever name for this game. Nice. Okay, let's see. How does this boss feel now? Now that I'm a little bit better with the movement. I think I took damage off rip there. This boss is still actually pretty tough, huh? Oop. Sometimes you get on the wrong side of that slash and there's not that much you can do about it. Oh, the range on that always takes me by surprise. Okay. Nice. Yeah. So see, the first boss is really easy to understand, even though the range on that one slash is, I would probably tune it down a little bit. But yeah, it's like having understanding of the movement so you can like chain attacks onto him, and he's pretty slow, so you're not even under that much threat. If you just like force him down, you're good. Those small walls to force you to use the new ability is good. Yeah, that's some classic game design right there. You're not allowed to leave the room until you press the button you needed to learn about, you know? Was that the only one secret? Yeah, I only found one secret, which is a little bit surprising. Also, I love that little touch there. Very Hornet running away from the knight. And I don't even know what that secret is. But I think that's probably the only secret, if I had to guess. There's a couple question marks. Hold on. Let me explore around those question marks really fast. Now that I have the dash, can I break through something here? Nope. Maybe it heals you if you go for no death. Oh, I see. But yeah, so I think mechanically speaking, really great work. And then additionally, I think The art is really nice. Like the little screen shake every time you hit is like just enough to like sell it. The particles are really great. I think the sound design is really good as well, although I think you can't hear the game right now. So all the little like aesthetic details, even like moving from the tutorial to the second area, going from green to pink here and like the purples in the background, like this looks amazing. The map is nice and cool. I think it's fun to see how the map like pops up and kind of wiggles back and forth. I think overall, this is really sick. But yeah, I think the only really the only criticism you can have for this game is that like I wish it was longer. I also don't know what the secret does, so it'd be nice to know what the secret does. But more secrets, a bigger map, more bosses, and then like more exploration. Although I do get where there's like a bit of a difficulty here that like this movement doesn't really lend itself to exploration super well because you don't have as much control over it. But I think that's probably something, King Midas, that you're skilled enough to overcome is the difficulty with building exploration for a game like this. So, yeah. Overall, I'll say great work. Fantastic game. Fantastic game. I really enjoyed it. I really like the boss fights. I really like the unique movement. And I think you did a great job. Nice. Okay. Back to Talking Head. Okay. Is there a game I have to drop my game link for you to play, or do you play games in your queue? So I'm doing a special stream today to play games from the Juniper Dev Jam. If you post it in the Discord Showcase Saturday forum and put Juniper Jam in the title, then I might pop it up. Okay. Next up, we have spin and draw and do it well. Spin and draw and do it well. It's not enough to just spin and draw. Do it well. Oh. Hold on, did you make the music for this? I like the music. How do can I full screen this somehow? If not, I'll just zoom in. Okay. Juniper, I have a complaint about your jam, is that the name is so long that it's getting on the screen. This reminds me of Jumping Ed's game from the Shovel Jam. Oh, true, the like, line art style. Okay, spin and draw and do it well. Start with circle. My target, compare. Draw here. Okay, that seems difficult. Do I have like a circle tool? Spin? Oh, I see. I draw by just letting it spin for me. Oh, that's cool. That's cute. I gotta spin and draw and do it well. Nice. Now I need to make a bigger ring, so I pick this. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I've made a mistake. Perhaps I shall erase. Okay. Go this size, draw. Here. Not bad. It's supposed to be a little thicker, maybe? No, that's right. Then we do a thin line in the center, like this. It's not correct. Nice! I got 3 stars. Let's go! So I didn't make it close enough to the edge, right? It's like, this one should be closer to the edge. This is pretty good spacing here. This isn't bad spacing. And then, yeah, I just moved things in a little bit too quickly. But I still got my 3 stars, so next page. My target is just the Japanese flag. Okay, draw. Get a good spin going. Maximum spinitude. I mean, come on, right? All right. Let's go. Ooh, I need to outline. There should be like an overlap. Oh, when it compares, yeah, it should overlap so you can see the specific differences. I totally agree. That's a really, really smart idea, Jumpy. I think making it so that when it compares them, it like almost onion skins it would be really nice. But I need to start with yellow here. It's almost like sculpting. Maybe just a little bit bigger. Okay, I made it too much bigger. But that's fine. Boom. I mean, come on. And then like right here. I mean, that's pretty good, right? Only 2 stars? You gotta be joshing me. Okay. Go yellow. Big. Maybe I made the yellow a little bit too large. Okay, that looks about right to me. Just cross my eyes a little bit. Okay, nice. Now we do the outline here. Easy. I wish I could make that outline a little bit thinner, but okay. Now we want, like, right here. Huh? Pretty good, right? Bro, you've got to be kidding me. I mean, the outer line is too thick, but I can't go thinner than that. I need to erase it. I shocked myself a little bit when I made that discovery. I just assumed that the thickness of the line was correct based on the pin size. I didn't even think about erasing it. Okay. Okay, now we need to do a little erase on the outside edge. Oh, that's pretty good, right? That looks pretty good. Okay. Then the outline here. And then we take the eraser and we hit it with a little boom-ba-ya right here, you know, a little do-do-do-do-do, a little black pink in your area, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that's pretty good. Come on. Yeah, that's pretty good. That is shockingly accurate, it looks like to me. Nice, nice. Okay. Next level. Oh, come on. I mean, this one I just don't even do with a spin, right? This one I do the spinning thing and then just add a little tumor to it, right? Okay. That's the same picture, right? Can I copy my previous one? Okay. Take this, boom. Then we take the eraser. A little put your sneakers on. Nice, 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 nice. Okay. Alright, then we get the eraser out. Nice, a little micro adjustment there. Okay. Now we stop it, and then we mutilate our nice drawing. Okay, this feels a little bit strange. What's the pen option? I don't know. Oh, shit. Oh, the pin tells me what the top is? So... Ah, so maybe I need to match it up like this. I see. here. Okay, I'm gonna hope that's good enough because I don't really like doing that. Yeah, okay, nice. Okay, cool. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. I like the ones where it's about spinning at the correct time and like pressing at the correct time rather than just like scribbling at the end. Nice. I probably should have made the yellow on the inside first, huh? Nice. Okay. I think it needs to leave it a little bit bigger on the outside. Okay, now we use the yellow. Do like this. Not bad, but we need to clear out a little bit on the inside. That looks pretty good to me. That looks pretty good to me. Now we gotta get precise with it. Oh. Undo. Do a small erase. I see. Okay, let's spin quite slowly on this one. And then we need to do another small erase underneath. But before we do that, I actually think I need to do a... Oh, it needs to be a little bit thicker, doesn't it? Too much. You know what? I think I'm going to call that good enough. Because I can't get... It's like, I think I'm going to have to do like a really precise erase on the bottom. Like a really precise. I wonder if there's a better way to do this. Oh, that's pretty good. Hey, I'm pretty happy with that. It's not bad. Now we need to do the whole other side. Let's do, dude, I have an idea. Let's do a big erase. Like this. No. A little bit more like this. Yeah, and then we draw with a black line through the center. Yeah. Ooh, that's pretty good. Hey, here we go. We're getting somewhere. Oh, that's pretty close. You know what? It's too thin. It's too thin. I was gonna call it, but it's too thin. Oh. That's even thinner. Slow it down. Come on. Hey, there we go. That's the thickness I'm looking for. Yeah. I like it. All right, I'm happy with that. Oh, 3-star. Deserved. Okay. First, we create a big red circle. think I need to make it bigger on the outside. Nice. Now let's do this. Needs to be a little bit thicker. That looks about right to me. And then this. That should be more like on the inner. Oh yeah, that looks correct. Maybe even a little bit thicker. Just a tiny bit. Nice. And then we pin it to just like draw some sprinkles. Okay. Nice. I'm fine with that. I don't really like the the drawing sprinkles part. Ooh, a little heart. Green onions. Okay. Get a spin going. This line needs to be a little bit thicker, actually. Nice, nice. And then we want a nice thick pupil. There we go. Okay, can I create the heart with like a clever... Oh, it's not correct at all, but... Is there like a nice way to make a heart using the spinning motion? I don't know. I can't. My brain can't comprehend it. But okay, we want to create at least a center point to use for the heart. Right? And then we pin it, and then we just like draw. I'm fine with that, and then we'll do this. Yep. I'll take that. Sure. Okay. Close to a heart. Sure. For various definitions of heart, I suppose. Nice. Okay. Put a big, thick outline on it. Fill in the circle. And then we pin it. And then we just start mutilating our drawing. Okay, pretty good. Put a little circle here. Thingy here. A circle here. Thingy here. A big circle here. Okay, I'm fine with that. 3 stars. Deserved. Is there a good way to do the stripies with the spinning? Next level. Oh, you have to get a star. Okay. Is there a good way to do these? Maybe. Do a slight spin and then do like... How many is it? 8? Nice. Alright, I'll take that. Then let's make some outlines. I mean, this is a life preserver if I've ever seen one. Corporate wants you to spot you the difference. Corporate. You know what? Bump that joke, okay? Corporate wants you to spot the difference between these two pictures. They're the same picture. Oh. Okay, this is too thin. There we go, that's better. I mean, mine's got some pizzazz, am I right? That's at least 1 star. 3 stars? Wow. How is that a 3-star recreation? What are you talking about, 3 stars? All right, next up. Oh, incredible. All right, doing this one. Fast mode. Check it out. Speed draw. Boom. And we make it a little bit thicker. Then we need the center. This is where we do the shine gun. Make it bigger. A little bit bigger. Red, small. Shit. Almost had it. Nice. Got some shine gun going on, and then we pin it, I guess. And we just do this. Oh, not angry enough. That's fine. I'll take it. 1 star? How is this 1 star and the previous was 3 stars? Explain me. All right. Ooh, interesting. Okay. We're spinning. A little bit thicker. That's too thick. That's too small, but it's the proper thickness, so we'll take it. Boom. Now, we need to... Ah, shoot. I mean, realistically, the best thing to do is just pin it and just put it in place, right? Which is so sad. Sure. 2 stars, I'll take it. Shovel, your drawing is too large, it should be microscopic. Yeah, it do be like that. It do be like that. What is... what's the purpose of the straight lines? Explain me. Okay, let's put this black border. And let's shrink it down a little bit. I made it too big. Nice. And then I guess we pin it and start erasing. I guess first let's make the straight black lines. Okay. Yeah, that's a well-deserved 3-star right there. That's a well-deserved 3-star. Thanks. Here we go. I don't like the straight lines at the bottom, but the rest of it seems fun. So first we need to make a red swirl. We want this. Okay. All right. I think I want to start in the center. Close to the center as I can get. And how does this work? If I... Nice! That's pretty good. Wait, it's going the wrong way, isn't it? Hold on. Stop. Oh, shit. Okay, well. Okay, now it's going the wrong way. Confirmed. It's still going the wrong way. Wait, am I? I don't understand. How do I make you go the correct way? Is it possible? Isn't this... Is this spinning the wrong direction? Right? Am I not getting it? It feels like the plate is spinning the wrong direction, which means it'll always be wrong. In that case, I'm making a giant lollipop. Hmm? Oh, that's a clean line right there. I need to shrink it down a little bit. Oh. Okay, nice. Oh, if you start from the outside and work inwards? Okay, hold on, hold on. Let me try it. Oh, I believe you are correct. Wow, that's much harder than what I wanted to do. Okay, you're right, you're right. We have a solution. Wow, that is tough. But we're pretty close, actually. Nice, okay. We got a little bit of an issue with it, but I'll take that. Okay, then boom, check this. There we go, that's what I wanted. More or less. Then thin it out. And we've got maybe the world's best lollipop. I see no issues. Slap in a couple sticks. And call it a day. Yeah, that's my 1 star. Okay, okay. First... First, we tomato sauce it. Oh, and we're going sicko mode on this one. Just you wait. Check it out. Boom, tomato sauce. Then cheese. I guess that's actually crust, huh? I don't know how to read. Boom. Now, we just do one of these maneuvers. We're not going for accuracy, we're going for sauce. Okay, then we take this black outlining tool and we do this. And this is working tremendously. Don't even question it. Okay. You know what? Let's undo my saucing. Perfect. Now, I need to slow it down a little bit so that we can red sauce inside the lines, huh? I feel like either way, because the red and the black has an outline, because the black is outlining the red, I either have to do the red and then color in the outline, or do the black and then color in the red. And neither of those seem particularly appealing to me. So here's what we're going to do. And we'll call that good. I got a thin crust over here, don't mind me. Nice. And let's get some big eraser spots. Sure, good enough. 2 stars, well deserved. All right. Too large. That's better. Nice. Perfectly done. 3 stars, baby. All right. So first, we get the yellow in place. Nice. Okay. Fill it out a little bit more. Now, we want a little... Yep, that's perfect. Get one of these. That's way too small. These. That's way too large. One of these. I'm Goldilocks-ing right now. Nope. Nope. Maybe one of these. Alright, not bad. And then we pin it. Then we do this. We do this. And this. Good. Well deserved 3-star. Alright, main menu. Oh, that's a coin. Okay, spin and draw and do it well. Alright. Let's think critically about this game and see if we can give some feedback. So, first off, I think I love the main mechanic. This is very, very fun to do. Like, cranking the spin and basically sculpting with the painting, this is extremely satisfying. Like, look at that. Look at the way it changes as it spins. Oh, that is nice. Isn't that extremely satisfying? Boom. Like, isn't that cool? You forgot one sprinkle at the donut? It do be like that. I think this main mechanic for how you draw is very, very fun. But, okay, bye guys. I'm going to garden. Oh, have fun gardening, IDT. Okay, so that being said, I think the main mechanic is extremely satisfying. And you can do some really cool stuff with it. Like, honestly, just like randomly pressing buttons and seeing what gets created is really fun. Like, look at this cool little, like, almost like a security camera icon thing I made. Like, that's really satisfying. However, I think the issue comes in when you get to the ones that require, like, where was the donut? The ones that require you to, like, just draw, like, I don't find, like, that part of it very engaging at all. I find the engaging part when it's spinning, you know? I think that it's really fun to draw on this when it's spinning and see what like gets created, and seeing what like kind of effects you can get out of just like moving the mouse while you're spinning, or like trying to like match the timing of when you press. Like, I think this is very fun to create like these kind of fun effects where you're trying to like match the timing or match the width, or when you're basically sculpting. I think that's very satisfying as well. You know, I think like trying to sculpt out a shape by having it like spinning extremely quickly, and you're basically just like increasing the size of this until you get where you want. And it's like, if I was trying to match the width of these like yellow spots I created, like look how satisfying it is to get it into exactly the right spot. Look at that. And I did a pretty good job of getting it in the right spot. However, then you have to go in and like just change to the pin and just like do like, and put this here and put this here. It's like that I find much less compelling. I would almost consider this spin meter should be baked in. Like it just always is spinning, and building the challenges that you have to match around the fact that this is always spinning, because this is the cool mechanic that's like really satisfying to use. Right. And then you can have the speed of the spin, change the like difficulty or type of level, right? Like the levels where it's spinning extremely fast are almost like sculpting levels where you can't do minor changes because you need to be very precise with it, or because every change like will instantly like move around the board. So it turns into into making a more like a sculpting based like mission almost, you know? And I think that would be very, very fun. And then you could have some that spin the other direction, and you can change the type of thing you're trying to match based on what kind of spin you're providing to the player on that level, so that you always are engaging with this cool spinning mechanic and trying to like time your things properly, instead of the opposite being true where you're like, look, I'm just like randomly hitting buttons and having a good time with it, right? So that's the kind of thing I would lean into for sure. The levels where I just got to sculpt it or just let it spin and like try to time it properly, those were the most fun, right? I really liked the record one where I needed to like erase at the right time to create like the shine on it. But I think that level came a little bit too early, because then you also needed to go back in with the black pin to like decrease the size of the shine, which felt very precise and very difficult early on. So I'd say maybe early level should have like a record with like a big shine on it, and it's mostly about timing it. And then you can have some where you're like just trying to like drop it onto the canvas at the right times, some where you're sculpting the shapes into like the proper formation, some where you're trying to get the right combination of spirals in the right order, and then changing up the colors. Like right now you have black, red, and yellow. Changing up like the colors you have available on the different levels could also like keep things fresh too, where it's like the next level could be like black, blue, and green, and you have like a different type of thing you're making. I think that could also help to keep it fresh, so that it's not the same colors the whole time. But I think that the main thing is, I think you want this thing spinning at all times. I think this should only stop spinning when you click to compare. It's interesting when you try to draw a circle in the opposite direction in this. Yeah, when you like go the other way. Yeah, I think trying to make straight lines with this tool, just like it doesn't feel like the point of the game to me. I think you've made something really satisfying. It's really fun to use this like spinning to draw tool. It feels very much like shaping clay. And I've seen like shorts and stuff where where someone is like drawing as something spins, and those are always really fun to watch. And I think you've captured a game that takes that fun thing to watch and makes it into a fun game where you're trying to match the thing on the left. I think that works tremendously well. I think this is really well done. I just think the thing you're trying to target is very important. And I think right now there's too much emphasis on matching stuff that doesn't involve the spinning. I almost think like the spinning should always be there. And then you should probably change up I think for the most part, these have too many like the broken egg here. I think rather than broken egg, I think you could do a have like this kind of spin to it, and then it's like seasoned egg or something, and then you have to create the outside, and then you create the yolk in the center, and then you outline the yolk, and then you could have some like pepper flakes that are like, I mean, this isn't a very good illustration of it, but you know, you could have something like this to show like folds in it, and then maybe instead of red you could have green, and then you're trying to like time some or ketchup. Actually, you could have like a nice like ketchup squirt on it or something, you know. This is obviously a very messy thing. I didn't do a good job at my seasoned egg, but I think making it more about matching something that involves doing spinning at the right time rather than stopping it and then just drawing this broken part. I think that's the way to lean into for sure. But other than that, I think the aesthetic of the game is really nice. I think the art works really well. The tools are all really good and the concept is really good. But I think, it would be fun if you could change the pivot. Yeah, I also think changing the pivot could be a fun idea, where instead of pivoting around the center, you can pivot around an edge so you can like add circles and stuff. But I think that's like adding another feature, trying to solve a problem when I think the problem exists on the thing you're trying to match already. So I would like work through it one problem at a time. First, make sure all the targets you're aiming for are using spinning properly. Then maybe you can like change the pivot around and stuff. But yeah, really cool concept and really great execution on the concept. I think mostly it's just the targets can be reworked a little bit, but yeah, great work. Okay. Next up. Let's see. Going through. Did I already do all of the Juniper Jam ones? Oh, Monarch, you posted a showcase for Juniper Jam? Oh, no. Okay, I just didn't refresh. I was like, huh, I'm sure missing a lot. Okay. Oh, for the Juniper Jam. Okay, nice. I needed to refresh. I think they made their drawing with a circle tool in a drawing program and not with the spin thing. I think that's actually a fine way to do it. I think that's actually kind of fun. The fact that they used a different tool and now you're trying to match it with the spinning thing. I think that's pretty cool. I just think the thing you're matching is very important. Okay, next up we have Momentum Mori by Monarch and Squad. Let's see who, Lily, Bubba, and clearly Lusk as well. That is a stacked squad. Let's see what they put together. Momentum Mori. We got some classic Monarch UI instantly. Options. Release chain link. Okay. Turn it down a little bit. All right. Nice. Begin options credits. All right, begin. Versus Oni Bancho. Previous, back, select, next. Okay. Next. Versus Dwayne. Wait. Oh, okay. I do one fight at a time.
Ah, Castle Sylvain. The Dark Lord Dracula has resurrected. Of course, it is no one but I in my chains who must take up arms to defeat the evil spinning. Here we go.
Evil spinning something. Whoa. Spin focus. Press E or right mouse button to unleash chain. Okay, right mouse. Left to enter focus spin. Right mouse button. Right mouse button is focus spin. Left. Okay, I think those might have the wrong keybinds, right? That's fine. Oh. Kind of chain gaming. Oh. 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 Easy. I'm at 80 RPM. I'm 79 RPM. I'm not 100% sure what I'm trying to do here, but I'll figure it out. We're gaming. Nope. 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 Wow, even with the slowdown, I still missed. That's rough. His moves are incredible. Let's be real. Bro, come on. Nice, I think. Versus Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Okay. I don't... Sound effects reminds me of a construction site. A rocky figure approaches. Its eyes glows as the body begins to rotate. I must heed caution. I thought I must need caution. I must need caution. Boom. 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 Gaming. Nice. I believe I'm gaming. Confirm, deny. Nice. I'm just shooting chains. Yeah, I think I won. Oh yeah, I lost. A rocky figure appears before me. Clever to name the rock figure Dwayne. I get it. Okay, I don't know why I died. Seems like I take damage when his portrait is around him. So stay away during that. And then deal damage to him when he's not portrait ing. Oh, okay. Sorry. I portraited. Okay. Nice. No, portrait.jpg, okay? Yeah, easy victory. Okay, I lost. Appears before me. Its eyes glow as its body begins to rotate. I must heed caution. I have 240 RPM. 199 RPM. Yeah, my rotations are my health. That's true. Okay, so the portrait is doing big damn. I don't understand what's going on even a little bit. That's the last of my health, but I thought I have to a game about dying without understanding why. Okay, hold on. Can I read? No. In the options, was there any explanation? Release chain whip, spin focus. How do I win? Okay. Okay. I'm losing RPM by bumping into the little red ones. Right? Am I supposed to dodge the little red ones? Okay. I think I... Okay. If I hit him while he's blue, I take damage. Okay, so I can only hit him when he's yellow. I see. Okay. But I hit the little red one. Is there any way to deal with the little red ones, or are they just like... Oh, no. He's blue. He's blue. He's blue. Okay. Oh. Oh, he turned blue so fast, bro. There's no warning on it. I think I just have to dodge the little red ones. Okay. Good damage on that red there. Or on that yellow. Okay. Got another hit on the yellow. Okay, the chains feel like they are there to mess me up. Because I can control myself with the mouse pretty well. No, no, no. Oh, okay. Alright. Boom. Okay, got him. Wait for yellow. I can't see him. Okay. Oh, dude, did I take damage from that? Oh. Okay. Nope. Oh, and I just lose health over time, too, so I can't even play so cautiously. Rough. Nice, that's 2 hits. Wait for the yellow. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, that's 3 hits on the yellow. Oh, I missed. Okay. And I'm dead. And I'm dead. Okay. This time. Avoid the red on your rear to avoid damage. Hit on my so... Oh, I need to slam into them like that. Oh, I see. Because I am a circle, I assumed my damage was omnidirectional. Oh, okay. Nice, okay, we cleared them out. That's an easy win. Boom. Get at least 2 hits on the yellow. Dodge this thing. Boom. Boom. Easy money. Wait for his PNG. Okay. Alright. Wait for the PNG. Okay. Dodge that. Come on. Oh, okay. I got impatient. Nice. Wait for him to yellow. Boom. Boom. Easy money. Nice. I think I took some damage from his portrait there. Okay. I think that was a hit. Oh, okay. Oh. He's gonna portrait. Do my chains do more damage? I'm not sure. Oops. Okay, do not go for slowing down, or don't go for the chains. Oop. Nice, I think I got him. Did I win? Yes, victory! Let's go. Let's go. We learned blue is danger, right? Blue is danger, and the little red ones I can't let hit me from the back. Olivier! Dude, I love the name Olivier. Olivier, that's one of my favorite names. A knight appears. Their swords float above them. As they look at me with contempt, I must watch for the swords. Dang, that's true. Okay. First take out the red. Okay, I got a bunch of hits from the back there. Oh, that counted from the back? Okay. Okay, I took too much damage fighting those. Where's the enemy? Okay. They literally are using swords. Makes sense. When can I attack? Is green safe? Okay, green looks safe. Come on. Okay. This feels like a very... Oh, shoot. Don't know what I clicked on to open a tab there, but... Nope. Not the swords. Oh, big damn. Boom. Okay, dodge the swords. Nice! Okay, Olivier went down easy. They use swords and not shovels. Fake fan. Okay. Nice, okay. Baba Yaga, let's go. Oh my gosh. Monarch forgot to add text to this bullshit. Who's Monarch? Based on the lore of this game, I do not know who that is. Dude, why do they go, like, buck wild when I hit them? Boom, and check this out. Boom, and another one. Boom, oh. Boom, oh. And, check this. Oh. Okay, nope. Yeah, there we go. All right, where you at, Baba Yaga? Okay. Baba Yaga pulling a Ganondorf, disappearing. Where you at? Oh, are you Baba Yaga? Okay, I think that was fire. Oh, okay. Where is my enemy? Okay, looks like Baba Yaga is creating clones of herself that can shoot fireballs. Oop, I ate that fireball, didn't mean to. Nice. Where you at, Baba Yaga? Oh, okay. Nice. Ah. Boom. 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 There we go. Okay. Oh, come on, man. Alright. Okay, the fireball spawns super annoying, but we live and we learn. Come on, Baba Yaga. Oh, I think that's Baba Yaga down. Hey, let's go. Baba Yaga down. We're spinning this house right now. This is what's going on, play. Nice, okay. Baba Yaga. Now we're at Meteonis. Meteonis is a Dargon. What kind of moves does Dargon have? Ha ha, hark, a dragon greets me. Of course, not in the friendly way, as is tradition. Okay. First we take out the reds. Is the dragon, like, shooting explosives? Nice. Okay, can I... Wait, is that the dragon? I think it might be. How do I hit you? Okay, you left an opening. Oh, gamer. Okay, wait for that to dissipate, and boom, boom, boom. Yeah, gamer. Wait for that to dissipate. Oh, there's another one. Wait for that to dissipate. Boom. With the side of boom shakalaka. Okay. Okay, I just took the damage. Okay, why? So if I hit the chain, I ran multiple times? Seems like that's the case. Oh. Okay. That's a good use of my spin focus. Go in right when they're open. Oh, nope. Right when there's an opening. Nice. Good use of spin focus. Nope. Nope. Oh, is that it? He's dead? Wait, Baba Yaga again? Why is there a Baba Yaga twice? What the heck? Is this the same Baba Yaga?
Several floating witches materialize before me. Then they combine into one. And once again they separate. Is it a mirage? Or is it Captain Crunch? Hmm?
Okay, okay. Oh, what? Oops. Okay, so the first Baba Yaga actually works, but doesn't have text. The second Baba Yaga fight doesn't happen, but does have text. Okay, Count Dracula.
What a horrible night to have a spin, says Dracula as I approach the last floor. I expected someone more enthusiastic. He says as I sigh and ready my chains. There's no time to waste.
But enough talk! Have at thee! What is a man? But a miserable pile of flesh. You steal men's souls. What's it? You steal men's souls and something their graves? I don't remember the exact lines. Where you at, Dracula? Oh, he's hard to see. Wow, he is really hard to see. Makes sense for a vampire, I suppose. Is this what I'm supposed to hit him? Oh, I can't spin focus. Oh, wait, now I can. Oh. Yeah, when you run out of fire, you're so donezo, brother. Oh. Oh, come on. He teleported right then. Bonk. Good Dracula, bro. Bonk. Bonk. God, he is hard to see. Uh-oh. There he is. Okay. Somebody give this guy a white outline. Oh, come on, Dracula. Check this chain. Boom. Get owned. Boom. Boom. Okay. We on? Dude, who made this music? It's so good. I'm DJing. Oh. Oh my god, I can't believe I missed every attempt to hit there. Rocky made it. Oh, dang, that's good. Oh, okay, I just tanked so much fire playing with my spin. Can I hit him, please? Dracula kind of tanky, huh? Makes sense. Just gonna bang against the wall a bit, don't mind me. Slowing time just to see if he's on screen. Oh, there he is. Boom. There's one. Check this. Boom. Boom. Easy money. Boom. Easy money. Dracula down. You're fighting air right now? Yeah. Dracula is extremely difficult to see. Nice. All right. Dracula down. Nice. Okay. And it looks like that's the last fight because I looped back around. Dracula's so short, dude. Short king, actually. Olivier, what a good name. Thanks for playing. Yeah. All right. Let's think critically about this game and see what kind of feedback we can give. Let's go back to Oni Bancho. So I think the first thing that really stands out to me is that the circles used to represent the players and the enemies are like somewhat confusing, you know? Because it doesn't really look. We're all busy as shit, so the gameplay is very lacking. I'm sorry. Yeah, no worries. I mean, it's a jam game. It's a limited time for sure. But I think it's still a good, what's the word? A good opportunity to figure out like what could be improved and if there's like small changes that could like help the clarity. It's like, I think the way I'm flying around feels pretty fun. It's like, it got pretty easy to control at the end there. And there were several moments fighting Dracula where I slow down time and then like spin drift into him and then chain to get him. It's like that. It's like the mechanics built on themselves in a way that was actually pretty fun to use if they were a bit hard to understand at first, you know? And it's like this first fight doesn't really require me to learn anything. So I kind of just brute forced it. Oh, I think I might've caught a bug there maybe. Yeah, I didn't really understand what was happening in this fight, so I didn't really learn anything. You know what I mean? And I think the lacking of a tutorial makes sense for a jam game. That happens all the time. But yeah, I think some kind of indicator or visual that you're spinning would be good. Yeah, I think that would make it easier to understand what's happening for sure. I came in late, so all I can say about the visuals is high contrast grid on a moving pattern background makes for a sort of hard to read image. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to follow what's going on. And I think the fact that I'm a little disc and the enemies are little discs is like sort of difficult to comprehend because it just feels like I'm floating around in space without the context of you telling me that this is a Beyblade game. I wouldn't have picked up on that. And then I don't know what the little red orbs are supposed to represent. So I think there's probably some version of this with like very slightly different visual clarity that makes it clearer what's going on. Like, the discs were intended to be replaced later. I see. Yeah, I think if these were like actually Beyblades and there was like a spinning, graphic to it, and that spinning graphic made it clear which side was the front, which side was the back, so that I could tell what was going on with that. I think that would probably make things a lot clearer as well. Also, I think measuring health in RPM makes a lot of sense, but it does add like another layer of friction to understanding what's going on. All right, I can't hit him when he's blue. I can only hit him when he's yellow. Is that like telegraphed some? Is there somewhere I'm supposed to figure that out? It feels like that's like, that was luckily the developer was in chat for me to learn what was going on. And you have like an opportunity with the, hold on, let me die real fast. Come on, take me out. All right. In the build up here where you're like fighting him and there's like the text that's like a rocky figure appears before me. Its eyes glow as its body begins to rotate. I must heed caution. I think adding the text there, that's like, he glows blue. with an invincible aura or something, you know, just to give something to let the player know that blue is bad and yellow is good. Because otherwise there's really no way to figure it out. The black screen has actual defeat text, but it's fudged on web for some reason. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's just like a bug. And it's like a win screen and a defeat screen doesn't really change the gameplay all that much. It just changes the feeling of, you know, of winning and losing. So it would be good to have it, but I don't think that's like the biggest deal here, you know. He looks, yeah, he glows blue and looks invulnerable, and he glows yellow and he looks really sensitive, and he glows green when he misses his mother. But yeah, just, I honestly, I think making it explicit rather than trying to not be too on the nose is good. For a jam game where there isn't really a tutorial and there isn't time to do a tutorial, just having the character basically say, he glows blue with an invulnerable aura. It looks like I'll only be able to hit him when he's yellow. It's like, that's a little on the nose, but it works. And then if I read that out loud and still don't do it, it's kind of my fault. So, ooh, boop. Yeah, blue stop signs. Just think of blue stop signs. Yeah. But I think the way it feels to control is really nice. And I think the chains are cool too. Because it's like a way to control your direct movement. The spin focus is cool too. I just think like the graphics of the fight don't really make it easy to understand or parse what's happening. So it basically took you explaining to me in chat to get it. But I do think it is quite fun to control once you're actually like playing. Like going for the hit there was super risky, but it was worth it. Also, since my health is rotations per minute, it would be cool if there was some way to heal that also involved like spinning faster. Blue traffic lights as well. Make it so hitting an enemy starts like a domain clash cutscene for who has a better RPM. I mean, in some ways, when the RPM stuff was, when I first noticed it, I was thinking like, how can I speed up my RPM so I can hit them for more damage? Because it wasn't clear to me that bumping into them actually deals damage. So it could be a situation where a boss health bar makes a lot of sense because it means that like when you start fighting, you instantly understand like what's going on. And then I think there were a couple of like, there were a couple of design choices that I think could be reconsidered. And I think the Baba Yaga is a great example. I want to find it. Yeah, so Baba Yaga creates these fireballs that are massive and they come out with no warning, which is extremely frustrating. You know, when I'm trying to hit Baba Yaga and there's like no warning that the fireball is coming out, like it just spawns there. So I just take damage, you know, it's like, that's like a design thing that's like pretty frustrating. But one thing I will say, that I think Monarch, you, Bubba, Lily, and Lusk do quite often, that I think will probably help you a lot in jams going forward, hopefully, is you all love adding content. You all love to really load up on the amount of content in a game, like a ton of fights, a ton of bosses, a ton of cool stuff. You plan out a bunch of content, and then there's no way to do it. You like, your plan was to make, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 unique boss fights with their own like moves, their own attacks, their own flavor text, their own sprites, different colors, different stuff going on. You wanted all 6 of these bosses in what, 7 days? It's like, that is a lot to put on your plate. I think for jams, what you want to do is split up your time in almost like in the way you would structure it for like a project, like the same way you would structure a game in like a studio, where at some point you have to have a feature lock and like a content lock. And you need to get to that content lock early, right? Like once you're on like day 5 of a 7-day jam, you really can't afford to plan another boss. So what you should do is figure out, like, I think this this movement here, the leadership sucks. I am John Leadership. This movement feels like a solid prototype for the gameplay. And it feels like getting to this movement should have been like priority 1, right? Like first thing we're going to do is just get a scene where we can Beyblade around and see if that's fun to control. And I think from playing this right here, I would say, yeah, it is pretty fun to like Beyblade around. And then you have a button to do like your special Beyblade attack. And even that, it's like you have special Beyblade attack and you have like a time slow mechanic that has like a, like it's cool, like graphic in the bottom for being represented, and your health is in RPMs and enemies can like teleport around. It's like, there's so much stuff that y'all decided to add. And I understand why. I think you all are very talented developers and you have tons of cool ideas, and Lusk wants to create all these awesome characters. And you're like, what if we had this ability and this ability, right? So, I get why it happens, but what I would recommend is for your next jam, especially if you're working on a team like that, like get to feature and content lock sooner. Get the gameplay prototype ready, and then you can make tweaks to the gameplay until like you're satisfied with it, but you'll already have the prototype in place. That way, if you got to this gameplay with the Beyblade earlier, you might have been able to get the sprites and stuff in it to like have it treated properly, right? It's like, cause you were able to add like sparks to the movement and polish some of it, so that the movement overall feels good. And I think this slowdown time mechanic and chain were like worth it. They ended up really fun. But I think that they are like two things that you added to this that you even have sprites for the chains, which is so funny. That way you could get this like feeling really good and have it really satisfying to play as, before you start adding a bunch of bosses. Like get this all polished up for a single boss, right? Get like the sprites for the Beyblades, get all the mechanics, get everything polished up for a single boss, and then decide how many bosses you can fit before content lock, right? And then if you have this feature and content lock, and so you have all the bosses you're going to do, you have the features you're going to do, and you have those polished up to some degree with 2 or 3 days left in the jam, that gives you the time you need to do like tutorials and stuff like that. So I think like you all clearly have the talent and the skill and the ideas to make a fun game. So I think your biggest lesson, your biggest takeaway, and the best feedback I can give you is on how to actually structure the project so that with your different deadlines and schedules and stuff, you can finish it in time to submit it and have like a full experience. Cause I think like, it's pretty clear to me that if you all had another week to work on this game and actually had like the free time to do it and stuff, you'd be able to get all the art in for this, polish that up. You'd be playtesting the bosses and seeing what works and what doesn't work. You would add like, you know, the delay frames and the wind up frames to certain attacks so that the design works. I know that you are all capable of doing that, right? Me giving the advice on those is honestly more for other people watching your game rather than you all, because I think you all already know that. But I think the thing that you all would definitely benefit from is some introspection and some thought on how you want to structure your project. Like, how do you set up the timeline? When do you put your feature lock? When do you put your content lock? When are people going to be available to work on different stuff? You know, putting your content lock 2 days before the end of the jam seems nice unless you're all going to be busy on those final 2 days, right? Because then you're content locking right before it's supposed to be finished anyway. And so, yeah, I think that's a really good thing to think about is how are you actually going to get this game over the finish line in a state that people can play it? Because I think that's really good. I'll still be working on it in the meanwhile. I grew up with Beyblade, so even though I'm not happy with the state of it right now, it's still really close to my heart, even outside of a jam context. Yeah, I think you guys have made something really cool. It's like, that's the thing. You, Monarch, you and your team and Bubba and Lusk and Lily, you all managed to make something really cool every time. But I can see your ambition for what you want the game to be is way outside the scope of what is possible in a jam, and you plan a lot of content and you put yourselves in a unbelievable crunch situation to get it done. And I can see that because I used to do similar things, you know? And it's not a lack of skill or talent that's causing the games to be in like a sort of unfinished state with like a lot of rough edges. It's more so the project management. But yeah, so that's what I would think about is next time for your next jam, or I mean, even if you just want to plan working on this game further, what I would do is like, first come up, like once you do all your planning, what you want the game to be, once you have the idea, your first stage is like, when can we get the prototype ready to play test it and see if it works? See, is it easy to understand? And what do we need to do to get it working? Then you polish those features to get a prototype that has the polished level to it. Then you do content planning, right? Where you plan out how many bosses are we going to have? How are we going to keep the game interesting for more than just like if we just have one boss, it's like you play the boss and the game's over, right? So what do? Do we have that one boss? Is there an easy way to increase the difficulty on that one boss and fight him again later, right? Can we have 3 stages, right? Can we do the Oni Bancho fight 3 times, but the second time there are more spawns and she gets 1 extra attack, and the third time she has even more health and she has another attack that creates more spawns, so you have to deal with those as you keep fighting, right? That way you can reuse the content a little bit more to continue to pad out the game, like give it stuff that you get to do without giving yourself so much extra work on top of it to get all of this stuff done, right? And then, if Lusk doesn't have to do extra art for like Baba Yaga and Meteonis and stuff, maybe Lusk has time to draw some like cool Beyblade sprites that you can spin just using rotation in editor. You don't even need to animate the sprites by hand. You can animate them in editor. And that way you can get some Beyblade sprites in there, and then maybe you'll have time to do some environment stuff. Or if you don't have time for environment stuff, at least you'll have those, right? So, so I think, that being said, I think you guys made something that's very cool, obviously. And I'm excited to see where you take it, Monarch. If you keep working on this, I'm excited to see like how you continue to expand on it. But yeah, I think it's a good lesson for not only your team, but anyone watching, is when you're doing a jam, you want to plan the project similarly to how you need to plan projects for like a full release, or even for, a minor demo or whatever. Like, project planning is a difficult and large skill. Like, failing at project planning, like if you consider this a failure in project planning, isn't something to feel bad about, because project planning is a difficult skill that requires a lot of practice to get right, I'll resubmit it again when I'm in a better state with it. Thanks for the feedback. Yeah, no problem. But yeah, project planning is a difficult skill that takes a lot of effort. And when you're already doing everything else for the game, properly planning the project is also very difficult. That's why, like, with teams, it's like you can have someone dedicated for project management. Like Monarch said, he was the leadership of the team. But I think it's very difficult for one person who's in charge in a jam to like really do everything when it comes to planning, because there's a lot of crunch and a lot of like doing things just when it's possible, and like throwing stuff out like when you have a chance, or getting stuck on one feature, so you jump to a different feature that's not as important, but you don't want to just waste cycles by like waiting until you can get over that block, so you move to something else and then you get something done ahead of time, but then something else is behind schedule. So like that's really, really difficult to manage, even when you have like a year let alone 7 days. So I think project planning is one of the things that's very difficult to get a grasp on. But yeah, I think for your team, that's what I would consider, is not just project planning, but also scope. Like the next jam you all want to do, I would say, the next jam that you want to do, especially if you're working with like the same team that you guys have sort of put together, I would say take the project that you come up with and cut the scope by like 70%, like do a quarter of what you planned, right? If you're like, and we can have bosses, it's like, oh no, we can't. We can have one boss and a regular enemy. And then we can do 3 waves of regular enemies that just are the regular enemy, but maybe more of them, and then the boss. And then if we have time, we could do that same boss again, but up all the values to make it harder or whatever. But I think keeping it in scope is really, really valuable. And I think because of the skill level that you and the team have, I think if you cut the scope down, you'll be able to really deliver on all the moment-to-moment stuff that you're capable of, but don't have time for when you scope too large, Project management is easy. For example, next game jam, I'm going to make an open world multiplayer game. I have the whole thing planned out, and a week is more than enough to finish it. Yeah, exactly. I think I have a problem where I grew up with big adventure style games with big arcs. It's literally just hard for me to come up with something short scoped. Yeah, I think for this, you had the idea of like the 2D Beyblade thing. And I'd say that's where where you divert from a path that's going to be achievable in a game jam, is when you have this cool idea for a Beyblade thing, and then you also tack on 6 bosses and all kinds of extra abilities, and like you tack on a lot of extra stuff. I would say like just making a thing where you load in and just do this Beyblade and like more enemies spawn until you die is already going to be difficult to make feel amazing in the jam context. But luckily, as a team of developers, you're all very good, so you can get it there. And then you can figure out where to go from that. And like figuring out how to scope it in a way so that even with a lack of content, or like a lower amount of content, it's still like a full experience, I think is a very valuable exercise for y'all, to slice it up, right? Yeah. Lyra is dead right to say, like, slice it up. figure out what is necessary for the game to be fun and cut the stuff that you don't think will be necessary. It's like you have an extremely talented artist like Lusk on your hands. And like, I think Lusk could have spent the time doing some other art rather than making more bosses. That could have like ended up with a, better result for the jam. But I also think you as a team don't need to be too worried about performing well in a jam. I think it's pretty clear that you all are very good. So just like building prototypes you're happy with to see if you want to turn them into full games or if this is something that people resonate with that's worth like continuing on. I think that's like a valuable use of your time too. Because I don't think you all need to win a jam to consider it a success. I think if you get information from the jam, that's a success, right? So yeah, nice. But great job. Great job. Always a treat to play a game with Lusk's art in it. My game jams usually go like this. First day, extremely overscope. Rest of the game jam, panic and try to make something smaller out of the stuff I made the first day. Gotta find that happy medium of something not boring and simple, something you can actually create. Yeah. Lyra with the 1-year membership. I would like to order a hit game to go. Thank you. Lyra, can we get some +2s in chat for Lyra? Maybe even +12s. That's crazy. 12 months. That's a full year. I think it's like Lyra and Stwinkly were my first 2 ever members on the channel. So that's crazy. That's crazy. A full year. Let's go, Lyra. Let's go. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Plus, you spend your time moderating the chat, which I also really appreciate. I don't have to worry about it because I got Lyra in chat. Okay. Let's see. All right, I'll do one more because I think this will be a quick one. And if it's not a quick one, I might have to leave in the center because I'm in the middle because I'm kind of hungry. But do one more quick one. So Swinkly and me go way back. Nice. Would you be open to play games from the Godot Wild Jam that ended 6 days ago? Yeah, totally. Throw them in the Discord. I just wanted. I thought since the Juniper Jam like just ended, I thought it would be fun to do a stream where I play games from that jam so people can get feedback on the thing they just worked on immediately. I thought that would be fun, but next week I think I'm going to go back to regular Showcase Saturday where it's a mix up and stuff. So, all right. So I think we're going to do a heist worth remembering. Spin your story in this extremely serious puzzle-like memory game. Okay. A heist worth remembering. Got a stick man in these handcuffs that are extremely effective. No way he's getting out of that. Let's start.
The night of the heist. Everything is ready to go. The guard's currently asleep, alarm systems are disabled, the plan is perfect. All you have to do is walk right in, find the vault code, and clean house. Should be quick and easy.
We're hiring. Working at the bank is so fun. June, on break. Okay, security's asleep. We go in. Employee of the month is John Banks. Nice. Okay, I want to go to the safe. I don't know the safe's code. Okay. Is there a way to leave this menu? I think I clicked on this before I was supposed to, and now I'm cooked. Okay, I think I need to reload. Space, AD, left, right, pause, escape. Okay, yeah. All right, everything's ready to go. Way fast this time. Escape should work. Itch is just weird. Yeah, because it's a web build, so escape is sometimes. All right. 713 in out. So the outer ring is 3, so 713. Okay, let's try 713. 713. We're in. Yeah, give me all the money. Boom. And we're out through the panel here.
You've managed to escape with your prize, but you're not out of the woods yet. DNA evidence points to you as a key suspect, and investigators will have brought you in for questioning. You can still get out of this by spinning a believable alibi. Just don't let them catch you in a lie.
Officer Euse. Is his name Sir Euse?
You have the right to. He's a cop. You have the right to remain silent, though I sincerely hope you don't exercise it. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Anything you don't say will also be used against you. Why do I feel like you're violating my rig? Zip it! We know it was you who robbed the bank. Scum like you sicken me. Your mustache sickens me. Take this seriously. If your story doesn't check out, if you slip up once, if you even breathe wrong, you're done for. First question. Where were you last night?
Your mom's. Okay, that's going to get me in trouble. Vending Bank, Serious Bank, Fells Wargo, Lock Bank. Not the bank. Do I have any information to go on? Oh, I'm like spinning my answer. Oh, right, because I'm like trying to spin a tail. That's fun. Spinning Bank, not the bank. Serious Bank, Fells Wargo, Lock Bank, your mom's. I'm picking your mom's.
Just throw this bozo in prison already.
Bro, I'm guilty for insulting him. That kind of lie. Remember to pay close attention to details during your heist. Okay, hold on. Return to the heist. This is Serious Bank. Okay, June 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 10th, 15th, 20th, 23rd. So today is June 23rd. Security is on break. Okay. John Banks was Employee of the Month. I need to remember that probably. The men's room is out of order. I don't know what this is supposed to be. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but the men's room is out of order, so that's good to remember. Right, bro has no chill. I said your mom's, and he said you're going to jail forever. Okay. Okay, so where was I last night? Serious Bank.
That one was a freebie. That one was a freebie. At least you're not dumb enough to lie to my face.
I would never.
We're only just getting started. Next question. What were you doing at the bank yesterday?
Working at the bank is fun. I was doing a job application.
I wanted to apply for a job. I heard they were hiring recently. That is true. Though if that's the case, why were your footprints found in the back hallway? You had no reason to be there.
Okay, the bathroom was out of order. Got lost. Was told to. Friend. Bathroom's out of order, so that's not it. Got lost. Why would I get lost? That doesn't make any sense either. Friend. I was also looking for my friend who works there.
Haha, oh, yeah, right. Friends? You? All right, Hotshot. What's the name of this so-called friend of yours, then?
It would be John Banks.
Yeah, I see. Heard he got Employee of the Month recently. Although, why'd you come by when he wasn't even there?
I forgot to ask for his work schedule. Just assumed he's always there. Workaholics, you know?
Hey, you got that right. Got a buddy of mine who makes video games 16 hours a day. Crazy one, that guy. Anyway, what did you need to talk to your friend about?
Just asking about his plans for 4th of July. Because it's June 23rd or whatever, which means the 4th of July is coming soon.
Yo, right. Almost forgot that's right around the corner. I got one more question for you and we'll be done here.
Finally. Enough wasting my time.
Try being cocky after this. You were seen on cameras outside with a large duffel bag. Mind telling me what was in it?
Stolen cash. A stolen cash and a body are both great answers. Duffel bag. Clothes. Stolen cash. Camping gear. If I was on cameras with a large duffel bag, then denying the duffel bag seems silly. Clothes or camping gear are the only answers that make sense to me. But why would it be clothes? I'll just go camping gear. I have no idea.
Kai, red-handed. Trick questions always get him.
So good at my job. Wait, do I not have a duffel bag? So is duffel bag the answer? He said trick questions always get him, so I'm supposedly I don't have a duffel bag. But how am I supposed to know that? Okay. Yeah, duffel bag. Duffel bag? What duffel bag?
Thought I could get you with the trick question. All right, everything checks out. You're free to go.
Thank you for playing my Juniper Dev very serious game jam submission. All comments and feedback are welcome and encouraged. All right. Oh, I didn't even turn on the music for that one. Oops. Well, that's fine. There weren't that many sound effects anyway, so. Sure, you don't have a bag. Yeah, I assumed when I left I put the money in a bag, but yeah. So let's think critically about this game. See if we can give some feedback. So I really like the concept here of playing through a heist and catching details in the background, like they're hiring, so I know there's a job application. It's June 23rd. That's important. Learning that someone who works here is named John Banks. That's valuable. Seeing that the bathroom was out of order was information that I needed to have. I think all of that is really satisfying. I think that's super fun. It's like being able to lie correctly about the situation. Yeah, it wasn't in a bag, but like, I really went through this great, just like holding like, you know, a pile of lemons worth of cash in my arms. Right. So that's the only question that I'm a little bit like, what? But I don't have a duffel bag, so I guess it's fair. But yeah, I think that the concept here is very, very satisfying. I think it's a fun idea that it's like you have to do the crime and then lie about it successfully. And I think that the fact that the questions all have like a correct answer. This one I have to remember that the bank was called Serious Bank because it was on the sign. Although this question is another one that I'm a little bit unsure of because it's like, where was I last night? Part of me wants to say I wasn't at Serious Bank because I don't want to let him know that that's where I was. But I guess if they have footage of me or they know that I was there, then lying about that seems like a bad way to get away with it. So I think that works pretty well. And so, yeah, I think that the idea works really well. And I would love to see play a full version of this where it's like I do multiple different heists or whatever, and I have to remember details of different banks and different cops in like different cities that I'm lying to, and how many different like stories can I keep straight. I think there's like a very cool version of this where on like the fifth crime or whatever, there's so many details and there's multiple cops asking me super complicated questions. It's really difficult to get through. I think that something like that could work really well. But overall, I'm really happy with the experience I had with this game. I think you did a great job with it. And I think it was fun. I think for a jam game, I think you kept, I mean, sort of talking about what we touched on earlier, you kept the scope nice and in check, and you delivered on what you were trying to, and I think it worked great. So well done. Well done. Nice. I think that'll be it for me for the stream. That game was a little bit, was shorter as I expected it to be. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Congratulations on everyone who completed a game for the Juniper Jam. Well done. Hope you guys get a good score, get good feedback, and get some good rest after working so long on your game. All right. See you next week. Peace out, everyone.